Consistency in my craft, and I see through, but it's all about patience. And every day that I wake in exile, all the shoes that I'm thinking, Lord, even you praise, El Shaddai, ancient of days. My refuge, I hide in your place, but logically boldness, like I'm so brave, so brave, stepping out comfy. Share Christ, go on our country, give hope, and I pray they see. With the light of the dark sea,
Shalom, beautiful Queen Tamara. How you doing, sis? It's good to see you out there. All praise to the Most High. Let's go, sis. Hey.
I was stuck in my ways. Then I found Christ, I'm seeing
Queen, may the Most High always hold you, guide you, bless you, keep you, and protect you and your whole family, sis. And everything that you do. Let's go, sis. Come on, Yasharahla. Let's go.
I just want to see your grace,
Damn, Yasharahla.
shine light on me, shine light on me, shine light on me, shine light on me, shine your light on me, please. Ultra beam light, help me see right in the valley of the deep. Dark shadows trying to reach me, receive help when I need me. Eyes on the throne, on the
into all truth. Still good and very edified by yourself. She's powerful, sis. She's powerful, my sis. Let's go.
Shine out for these frequencies, cold on my skin, that's sweet. Let's see, arm down my sleeve as I lead my team. I was stuck in my ways. Then I found Christ, I'm seeing the change. Bringing light, bringing peace, giving hope to the streets. Soon we'll see you shine your light on. I just want to see your face, shine your light on. I just want to see your grace, shine your light on me, shine your light on me, shine your light on me, shine your light on me.
Let's go, families. Now, families, you already know, families. About 5 to 6 minutes into this video, they are going to kick everybody out, families. All you gotta do, families, is to the next video that they send you to, come back and holler at your brother. You know we still live. Let's go. We want to give a big shout out, families, to the wonderful family. Beautiful Queen Mama Miranda, beautiful Queen America, beautiful Queen Jacqueline, beautiful Queen No Shade, King Lyrically, beautiful Queen Mama Nene, beautiful Queen Latasha, my brother, King Will I Am, I see you out there, beautiful Queen Vivi, they came in the building, and all those men that be tuning in, families. Beautiful Queen Jacqueline, I know you tuning in, sis. Let's go. Beautiful Queen No Shade, it was good to see you, sis. I'm seeing you moving around out here in Israel. What you doing, Queen?
Whatever may be, I know you'll never leave me. So I let go. So I let go. No more about
Our brother Lyrically, you know, he be kind of sleep, so probably like in the next hour or so, and he might end up waking up and he get edified in the lesson. But you know, a lot of people be busy, but they do be coming to the videos and they be getting edified. And man, all praise to the Most High Yah, families. So let the Most High pour His Spirit upon us. And families, we do have wonderful precept, families, about how the Most High Yah is going to restore His heritage. And it's going to be powerful, families. Let's get an understanding.
I've left all that behind, I'm following you high. There's no going back down, I'm holding on you tight. Nothing can separate me from your love.
Shalom, beautiful Queen No Shade. I see you out here, sis. Hey, sis, you know we finna great to speak about Queen today. You already know what it is, Queen. Hey, her lesson was so powerful, sis, that it must be displayed. It must be displayed. It has to be shared, family.
So I let go. Let it take control. No more struggle. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. He'll be your rock and salvation. He'll be your strength and your rock. So cast your cares on Him.
Hey, families, we've been set apart.
You say you're sick
That's
and
right.
tired of being sick and tired. Yeah, that's an old saying, but it's still running your life. So sit back and ask yourself, how bad do you want it?
Let's go, Yasharahla.
It's a lot of things you're gonna have to quit. A lot of things you're gonna deal with. It's a lot of tears you're gonna have to cry. A lot of days you're gonna feel tired. But ask yourself, how bad do you want it?
Display your banner of truth out here, family.
You gon' feel like you wanna give up, but the journey ain't for the weak. Dust yourself up. To be set apart,
King
you
Will
gotta
I
ask
Am, I see you in the building. Shalom, King. Family, you know what it is. That's right. I see you, bro. Come on, Yasharahla. Hey. We watch it.
Listen, you need to take your walk with Christ a little more seriously. It compromises shows your lack of immaturity. We all have insecurities, but still that's no excuse for you. Throw on your other shoes and do the things you used to do. You say they goose to you, but really you look goofy too. Your shooters shoot for you, but truth is they will shoot you too. I got some news for you. I know this all seems new to you. Can't take the risk of losing you when God has plans for using you. Gotta be gentle, we not easily angry. Oh, brother, remember you no longer a gangster. No, tell him I've been set apart. Jesus changed my heart, yo. Better get ready to start. Time to play a part. Don't do the things that I used to do no more. Things that I used to do no more. The places I used to go no more. The places I used to go, they never gonna be perfect. Chasing ideas worth it. Got one more here, man. Never let it go. I've been set apart. 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 There's a reason I've been set apart. There's a reason I've been set apart. 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 There's a reason I've been set apart. There's a reason I've been set apart. Greatest pattern and example that Jesus showed us, what he displayed at the cross. You remember when they spit on him? when they were hating on him, he said, forgive them for they not know what they do. Yes, he loved us anyways. He loved them anyways. The time that we despised and the time we pushed him away, he said, I don't want your ways, I want to do my thing. He still loved us. I'm forever grateful for that type of love. Thank you, Father God. Bless my enemies, my family, and my friends, Lord. Yes. Still in love the same ways. Oh my. Cause I know how to deal with you fake friends. Hey, you were fake, now like you were fake then. Yeah. They used to hate, they used to hate twin. But I pray one day we can make amends. Cause in the day of judgment we gon' both face him, amen. Look, I tell the truth to life, homie, two of life. You can lose your life the way you choose to fight. There ain't no rules at night, they let it shoot at night. I thank God that my family got food in life. Put my pride to the side, gotta do what's right. I got my eyes on the prize, can't lose my sight. I can't lose my sight because I'm cool with Christ and I know, yo. Try to understand the easy fundamentals. Look, and don't be so quick to be so judgmental. Nah, hey, and don't be so quick to be so self-centered. Live resentful cause you act revengeful. Hey, times are stressful cause you live regretful. I know, look, hey, cause the love is a sinner, sentimental and gentle, my Lord, yeah. Hey, I'm a special vessel in a righteous temple, It ain't coincidental, man, an accidental. Took this instrumental, made it monumental. And I ain't gon' stop until my heart resemble yours. I see that they hate on you, so I know they gon' hate on me. I see that they changed on you, so I know they gon' change on me. I see that they fade on you, so I know they gon' fade on me. I know it, and even when they hate, we gon' love them anyway. Cause when we went astray, you still love us anyway. When we did, you still love us anyway.
Hey, shalom, beautiful Queen Hazel. It's good to see you. And heaven sent. Thank you so much for coming in the building. I did strap you up with your body of armor. And the most high always holds you guys to keep you and protect you always. Oh, family, y'all go check out Heaven Sent's video. It seems like they be doing some good cooking over there.
On my knees late night, not this again. I ain't selling no dope, making dividends. I ain't robbing no folks, hitting licks again. I'm a Christian man, man, I'm a different man. I got a different plan, you better listen, fam. I say God, he got my back, and he protects and keeps me safe. And you can talk behind my back, but he gon' bless me in your face. So it's time to stay on track like a chatter choo-choo train, yeah. And I ain't rapping for no likes, no hype. You can keep the YouTube fame. Look, you was sitting in the house playing Xbox. I was mobbing in the side with the tech lies. We protected the block, we disrespected the cop. Man, we're next to drop, whether we're death or not. And I know, no, hey, that my soul was bad and so close. I said, I know, no, look, that I need your Holy Ghost. And I said, I know, no, yes, that my soul was bad and so gross. Don't ever let me go, my Lord, man, it's time to
All
keep
praise
me
to the Most High,
close,
y'all,
yes.
beautiful Queen Hazel. Today, let's listen to be edified. Y'all make sure y'all go show y'all sister. She's the daughter of Zion. Y'all go show her some love, Queen. She's bringing out a lot of truth. She's showing you about your heritage, your family. She's calling out the name of Yah.
I see that it fade on you, so I know they gon' fade on me. I know it, and even when they hate, we gon' love them anyway. Cause when we went astray, you still love us anyway.
Let's go, families. Shalom, Yasharahla, shalom. All the children of Yasharahla that scattered abroad on all four corners of this planet. The chosen seed of Yah. I want to say shalom. Now, families, man, families, that's all of us, families. When the Most High Yah sits there and says that he gonna bring everything to your remembrance, he wants you to fear his name and exalt his name at the exact same time, families. And then, families, he would not give you the spirit of fear anymore. There's rules, there's regulations, families, about his ordership. a role that you must play. Why? Families, because you was chosen from the beginning of creation. Families, he chosen you. He thought of your name and he hid you. He hid you, families, and we're going to go into scriptures on that to prove that. To prove that the Most High, he specifically chose you as a precious jewel to him. And families, he released you out into the world so you could be tried, so you could be tempted. That way that his Ruach HaKodesh could be able to work through you to find out if you real or is you a doll. Families, people do wear fake jewelry out here. Necks be turning green and everything. But how valuable is you? Families, we're going to go to Psalms 127, 3-4. The Most High says, man, that he deal with precepts. Precepts, families, is a command. Families, when you understand precepts, then you're going to understand the ordership that you has been placed in from the beginning of creation, families. Families, you knew of this before you even got in your mother's womb. He's going to tell you that. He's going to tell you, families. People don't show you these scriptures. Why? I don't know, because we've been learning from the heathens. Your oppressor, Christianity. Families, when you start realizing who you truly are, you are sons and daughters of the true living Father. The true Abba. Abba in Hebrew means father. We're going to prove that. You had instructions, families, when your spirit, you came from a seed. Your spirit was injected into a daughter, a mother, families. And families, you had instructions that you must play out. Psalms 127, and you got a great reward, because when you go to Revelations, the Most High, not the Most High, but our big brother, our Savior, he comes and he tells you, families, that lo, I come quickly. My reward is with me. What reward? What reward is that? Some people sit there and say it's salvation. Nah. Your reward is your holy priestly garments and your crown of life. What we call everlasting, families. Your crown of righteousness. Let's prove that. This is King David, the root of Jesse, the exact same bloodline that Hamashiach, the Christ, Emmanuel, comes out of. Lo, children are an heritage of the Most High, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Whose reward? Not your reward. It's the Most High Yah's reward. So families, if you're not exalting him and giving thanks to him, you falling off. You falling off. You forgot that who gave that certain messenger or whatever, that body, families, that type of spirit to open up your eyes. Who name is you supposed to be exalting? His. No, none else, because he's a jealous Eldonai. Lo, children are an heritage of the Most High, and the fruit of the womb, whose wound? In his reward. Let's go. Your second precept, families, will go to Isaiah. We need 2 or 3 witnesses, right? Let's go. We heard from King David himself. Your next witness is Isaiah. You got to learn, families. You must learn. You can't read from chapter to chapter. You will never. They gave you your chapters. The prophets, the Most High sit there and says that he will reveal all his secrets to who? The prophets. You are the seed, the descendants of them prophets. You must obey instructions. Isaiah chapter 49. We got to read 1-8. The Most High sit there and says that he's going to restore his heritage in the latter days. Nobody else. When people sit there and say, don't worry about genealogies, the Most High, y'all telling you, okay. Because when I come and see you, because we all got a visitation day, every last one of us, he's going to come and holler at you. Families, you're going to have to remember this because these scriptures was written thousands of years ago. Before your father. We're going to prove that. Hey, shalom, beautiful queen anointed. Hey, man, may the Most High always hold you, guide you, keep you, bless you, and protect you, beautiful daughter of Zion. That's one of y'all elders right there, families. Let's go. Who's the Most High talking to? He's talking to his children. Who's his children, families? Those that obey his law, statutes, and commandments in his hour. Listen, O Isles. Isles, families, is a generation of different tribes. Listen, O Isles, unto who? Him. And hearken, ye people from far where? Where we scattered at, families. The Most High have called me from the what? The wound. Then King David just sit there. Where he got that from? Isaiah prophesied that way before King David did, man. Let's continue. The Most High have called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother. Have he made mention of what? My name. He's talking about you. So, families, if he's going to make mention of your name, families, what make you think that you wasn't supposed to exalt his name? You don't exalt nobody else. None else. He's a jealous Elohim. The person that you exalting, he created that person. So who is him or her? Families, that's your brother. That's your sister. But families, we exalt our Father. Point blank, period. You can't get nowhere around that. As it is written. He have made my mouth like a sharp sword. Whose mouth? Your mouth. In the shadow of his hand have he hid me. He hid you, families, because you is a precious jewel. You is a weapon. You is something powerful for him. None else. There is no person on this planet that is supposed to exalt another. You is supposed to give out your testimonies. You show how the Most High Yah is working with you, and you is asking for more duties. He hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadows of his hand have he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. He polished you, families. In the quiver have he hid me. You see how he's hiding you as a secret? He's doing this. So when people unleash their gift, families, and they reveal their superpowers, you is not supposed to exalt that because you know where that superpower, that special gift came from. You supposed to always say, all praises to the Most High Yah. People is falling off out here. Why? Because you don't obey instructions. Ain't nobody teaching you this. Because why? We learn from the heathens. We're going to continue. He wrote you. He gave you instructions of what you're supposed to do before he come and test you, which what we call a pop quiz. You go over certain things, then he gonna give you a pop quiz, and then he gonna give you the real test. A lot of people gonna lose, man. Verse 3. And said unto me, thou art my servant. That's what that person, anybody that, when it come to your lips, you done manifested that, families. Once you spoke it out, we gonna prove that. Because he is telling you how powerful your mouth is, your voice. He's telling you, families, that once you speak these things, you done made it, you done manifested it into existence. That means it exists in your world. Maybe not everybody else's, because I know the Elohim I've served. And families, he don't play that. He don't play that. Oh no, you getting a little too hot out here. You getting a little too hot out here. You calling out the wrong names. You saying Tawada. Tawada means thank you in Hebrew. You saying thank you to the wrong people. Not saying that your brother and them ain't doing good. They doing exactly what the Most High, but they supposed to stop you and sit there and say, families, I appreciate the humbling words, but families, you don't humble me. I'm humble because the Most High is using me. You supposed to be exalting the Most High Yah's name. Period. We grown out here, and you getting a little too hot out here. Why? Because families, I understand ordership. Want me to tell you why? Because the Most High Yah don't play that. Watch. And made me a polished shaft. In his quiver have he hid me, and said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Yasharahla, in whom I will be glorified. In who be glorified? In whom he will be glorified, families. He ain't playing. Watch this. Then I said, I have labored in vain. How did you labor in vain? I have spent my strength for nothing, and in vain. Yet surely my judgments is with the Most High, and my work with the Most High. Families, everything you do is supposed to be all praise to the Most High, Yah. Families, if you doing anything, families, that got his name stamped on it, families, your banner of truth better be the Most High, Yah. If anybody is finna glorify you, family, you better stop them in their track quickly and tell them all praise to the Most High Yah. And now, said the Most High, thus said the Lord, right? Families, I'm trying to tell you, if you don't hear in the scriptures, thus said the Most High, or Yahushua Hamashiach, which is the Christ, Emmanuel, or the prophets, then families, you getting a little too hot out here. You getting a little too hot. If I can't cool you down and get you into some type of structural order, the Most High tells me that I must flee from you. I have to run. Why? Because you gonna vex my spirit. People be sitting there saying, all we doing is saying good job to our brother and stuff like that. And families, when they got the Most High Yah name stamped on it, families, nah, we sit there and say together, a good job, all of us. Families, when it comes down to a life-changing event, you don't want to exalt no man's name, no sister name. When it changed your life, families, don't no man get that credit. Only the Most High Yah gets that credit. Period. It doesn't matter what they did. If you ain't exalting his name, I got him. Trying to tell you, he's not playing. Watch this. Verse 5. And now said the Most High that formed me from the womb to be the servant to bring Jacob, he got his name changed to Israel. Again to him, Jacob to him, through Yasharahla be not gathered. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High, and the Most High shall be my strength. And he said, it is the light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to rise up the who? The tribes of Jacob. And to restore the what? The preserved of Israel. Families, this ain't got nothing to do about no color. It's about what you believe. It's about who you represent. It's about your banner, man. It's about what you speak. If you speak something else, you're not representing Yasharahla. Period. You can't change that. You can't make this fit no way other. Why? Because Isaiah finna tell you that the Most High told him, and it shall come to pass. When a come to pass ever come in the scripture, man, you better really check that scripture again and read it slowly. I mean, very slowly. Watch, families, check this out. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the what? The tribes with an S of Jacob, and to restore the preserve of who? Yasharahla. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles. The Gentiles mean goyim. It means nation, families. You are not a Gentile. He's telling you who you are. You just got to claim it. If you don't speak it through your lips, families, you is not Israel. You is not Yasharahla. You're not claiming it as your banner. You claiming a different banner. I don't know what banner you claiming, but families, I know one thing. I'm Israel. I'm Yisrael. Families, I will enter into the new Jerusalem. Where is Israel? Where is Jerusalem? It is in Israel. Period. Though Yasharahla be not gathered, though Yasharahla be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High, and the Most High shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to rise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserve of Yasharahla. I will also give thee for the light to the Gentiles, that they mayest be my what? Salvation, man. Unto the what? End of the earth, families. This is no game. Thus said the Most High, the Redeemer of who? Yasharahla, man. Why don't people go to these scriptures? I don't know. Who's teaching you? Why do they go to these scriptures? I don't know. But all I know, in the Hebraic understanding, people that's trying to learn Hebrew, even though they weak speak, are oppressor language. You speaking English came from your oppressor. You don't speak no English. Your forefathers didn't speak no English. Who speak English? Your oppressor. The people that put you into captivity still got you in captivity, but you think you free. But you keep on screaming out liberty, liberty, liberty. Nah, families, until you find out your true identity, you ain't never gonna find liberty. Man, Kwam Yasharahla means rise Israel, rise Yisrael, rise Yasharahla, your banner of truth, your banner, your flag, what you shout out, what you promote, what you sit here and say for life. Like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys for Life, P. Diddy and them, Bad Boys for Life. All right, what's your banner? Your banner better not be no social media type of mess. Man, it better be something that's everlasting. Trying to tell you, families, the Most High make you check yourself. He do, families, because it's thus said the Most High, as it is written. Check this out, families. Verse 7. Because we have a class that we need to go to, families. Once again, families, I deal with Hebraic understanding over here, families. Those that come over here already know about the lessons that we go into. We get deep in depth into history, families, in order to know what your present day holds for you. Like people talking about this coronavirus, families. This stuff was predicted hundreds of years ago. If you don't go into the history of when it was created, families, then you don't think it's something new. But the first thing people sit there and say is, ain't nothing new up under the sun. Well, if ain't nothing new up under the sun, go find out where it came from. Come on. Hey, that's why the Most High Yah said that. It says, Israel, my people, is a stiff-necked people, families, because, families, we really act like we done for real when we used to be the greatest nation on the planet. Don't make no type of sense. Hey, King Lyrically, what's up with you, bro? Shalom. King, we finna go back to some music. Man, it's good to see you, bro. Man, we soldiers out here, families. Man, true warriors for Hamashiach. Battle axes, families. Weapons of war. We know the power that we hold. Let's go, families. Verse 7 again. Thus said Yahuah, the Redeemer of Yasharahla, and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth. Who despiseth? Man. Why? Because, families, these are the people that tell you, families, that you ain't got to keep your feast days. These are the people that sit there and tell you, families, that you truly believe in holidays, even though you know they pagan, but you don't believe in the holy days because you ain't got to keep it. To him who the nation abhorreth. Abhorreth, families, means to vex somebody, families. That means, families, people speaking lies to you. That means people battering people all the time, families. You actually have the time to go look for wickedness when the Most High is telling you that you're supposed to be set apart and you're supposed to be holy. You're supposed to be righteous. Why you up in here going into the dark side when you're supposed to be a children of light? I didn't command you to go into the dark side. I got angels that can handle that until you die and you become an Elohim. And then you can work for me while you was doing what you was in the flesh. But nah, families, you trying to tell you, families, people gonna be like a Lazarus for real. Let's continue. To a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship because of Yahuah that is faithful and the Holy One of what? Yasharahla. And he shall what? Choose thee. Thus said the Most High. In a acceptable time. What acceptable time? His timing. But people want to sit there and say that people don't believe in time, man. And I don't know why. They coming up with their own times and stuff like that and don't make no type of sense. The Most High is trying to tell you to follow your first moon and the first month, and he give you days and weeks and years and what you're supposed to do in the 15th week and all this and that. People don't teach you all that type of stuff because they trying to tell you that we trying to keep you up under the Mosaic law. Families, the Mosaic law is God law. That's what people fail to realize. The heathens call it the Mosaic law. They wrote that down. Moses didn't. Moses said that these are God laws that was written on stone by the finger of his hand. Then your oppressor is telling you that they are bearing false witness. They just added stuff in Moses' mouth, man. Don't make no type of sense. But he said there and says, and he choose what? He choose thee. Thus said the Most High, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee. And I will preserve thee. He's going to keep you. Best believe that. And give thee a what? A covenant, man, of the people to establish the what? The earth. So if you think you finna go to heaven, families, you got another thing coming. Because you ain't finna go to heaven. The heaven finna come to you. It's coming to this earth, man. To cause to inherit the what? Desolate heritage. What is a desolate? What's being desolate? Being desolate means to be like wasted. Nothing there. He's telling you that he's coming to cause to inherit a desolate heritage, families. That means to restore, to rebuild, to recreate. Let's continue. We need to jump down to verses 24 to 26. The Most High y'all ain't playing, families. Let's go. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? He says this with a question mark. Who's asking this question? But thus said the Most High, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend. Contend means to fight for you, man. He gonna have your back. We finna tell you about a lawship ordership, families. Who's your lawyer at this moment? Like if you, let's say you get locked up, you got a judge. Who's the judge? The Most High. Then you got your what they call that the people that be over there, man, that be judging you, families. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those that be sitting over here judging y'all, families. You know what I'm saying? You got them. And then you got your lawyer. The prosecuting attorney, families, is Hasatan. Your defense attorney, families, somebody that's fighting for you, is Yahushua Hamashiach, the Christ, Emmanuel. He said there and says, But thus said Yahuah, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will save thy children. Whose children? He's telling you about Israel. That's the children he's talking to, families. He been telling you about Israel. But when people get to that verse right there, they're going to sit here and tell you a different type of people from a whole different nation, families. And families, you just skipped all this. He told you exactly who he's telling you who he was talking about. It's you, but you're not claiming Israel. So you don't belong in this. Until you claim Israel, then you be added on. People be blotting their own self out of the book of life, families, based upon the way you think and how you speak. And I will feed them that oppress thee. He gonna feed who that oppress what? Family, he gonna feed us spiritual meat, families. Spiritual meat against who? Those, man, that's speaking out false doctrine in this moment, man. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh. False doctrine, own flesh. He's not literally talking about your body, man. He's talking about the philosophies of man. And they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine. Sweet wine is making you drunk, families. That means you done fell into it, families. They got you. You just got. You just got. Watch this, man. And all flesh shall know that I am Yahuah, and thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. That right there was powerful. Families, we're not done. Let's go to Joel chapter 2. We're not done. So this is what the Most High for his fighters, true warriors, you sit there and said that you as a soldier for Christ, this is what you're supposed to be doing in this hour. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No if and that's the Old Testament. Man, if I was next to you, I wouldn't even like hit you in the back of the head. I would just tap you in the back of the head, like, read that again. You're not paying attention. Blow ye the trumpet out of, Salaki family, blow ye the trumpet in where? Zion, and sound an alarm in my what? Holy mountain. Let all the where inhabitations of the land tremble, for the day of Yahuwah cometh, and it is near at hand, families. Nigh means near. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong. There have not been ever the light, neither shall there be any more after it, even the years of many generations. A fire devoured before them, and behold, them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearances of horses, and us horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stumble, as the strong people set in battle array. Families, this is what the Most High is trying to tell you. When we get ready to gather ourselves up and we go against these nations, this is how we're going to fight in this hour. Families, our prophets spoke just like this in the best of their ability, families, because there were certain things they didn't know what to call it. These chariots is talking about tanks. Warship, man. Families, biological weapons, chemicals, and all types of stuff, families. That's why when we went over there to honor humility and we was talking to our brother Yaki, man, I was dropping jewels about how all this stuff got created hundreds of years ago. But people don't want to teach you that stuff. They want to have fun. Man, entertainment gonna get you killed in this hour when you know what's going on. when you know what's going on. Families, man. I'm gonna leave that. It says only a wicked generation search for a sign, beautiful Queen O'Shea, because people don't know ordership, man. They too busy trying to have fun. You got, but you got viruses, families that been created years ago, families, and just because of the technology, they done increased they done made it more potent. It did what it did then, families. It's able to kill billions now. Before the face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. All faces, families. It's not going to spare nobody. It's not going to spare nobody. What is this? It's the vaccines, families, chemicals, families, delusions. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of what? War. You going to run. You going to be scared because you ain't been preparing yourself. You don't know what's going on. You don't even know how to fight the principalities of darkness. You don't even know. You know about them, but you don't know how to fight them. You don't know how to fight them. The Ruach supposed to show me this. How you using the Ruach Hakadash then? Why it ain't showed you nothing when this time was coming? What type of spirit was that? Because whatever that was, I don't want it. Because the Ruach HaKodesh that I've been reading in the scriptures, let you be aware of all things. It said that you're supposed to be watchmen of the sheep families. You better tell me something that I didn't read. There must be a different book. Maybe a different philosophy. That's probably what it is. You came up, you read that, and you just put a different interpretation to it. Ain't got nothing to do with no ordership. You just reading chapters, man. It's the rankings in the heavens, family. It's the most. Your father is telling you that he is the president. He's the big dog, families. He the one that calls all these things, families, and until his children, which is all the nations, until they repent and come into this order, you gonna lose rank, man. You gonna lose your ranking. You gonna lose your stars, man. You gonna lose your badges. There's some families that's coming into this, getting recruited in, families, and you ain't even trying to get strapped up and booted up. You still wearing your private gear. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one trust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Most High shall utter his voice before what? His army. What army, families? You. He told you, he mentioned your name before you even was in the womb of your mother. You got instructions out here, man, and people is not teaching you that. And then you got the nerve and the audacity to exalt another person's name when you supposed to be exalting the name of your creator. Man, Hasatan is a lie. All praises to the Most High Yah. Always, family, coming through my lips. You must manifest these things. In order for you to manifest it, you must think it, then you must speak it. Speak it into existence. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I see you do something different, I got to move around, man. You getting a little too hot out here. Every time I'm saying that, is letting you know that's the like of fire, man. You getting a little too hot out here. Maybe you need some more milk. Let's continue, man. The Most High, because he's talking to you. Well, every time you hear thus said the Most High, he is talking to you. What is he telling you to do? Verse 11. And the Most High shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For the strong that executed what? His word. For the day of Yahuah is great and very terrible. And who can abide it? Abide means to obey. Who can obey it? The only people that are going to obey is those that call them the saints. And who are the saints? The saints are those that keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yah. Verse 12. Therefore also now. Therefore, verse 12 again. Therefore also now. Because time is of the essence, families. You can't be wasting time. Why you can't be wasting time? Because it's not your timing, man. Therefore also now, said Yahuah, turn ye even to me with all your heart. All your heart is not the heart in your chest. It's talking about with all your mind and with fasting, families. You don't go around and tell people you're gonna go fast, families. He's telling you to go fast. You don't go make no public announcement that you're gonna go fast, families. You just go fast. The Pharisees and Sadducees, man, went out there on public, families, telling people they finna fast. You read that in scriptures. Yahuah clearly tells us to watch out for that. Clearly. All praise to the Most High Yah for this understanding. You surely right, beautiful Queen O'Shea. Let's continue. He finna tell you, families, that when he come, there gonna be a lot of people that was sitting there saying, Father, I was doing wonderful things in your name. No, you wasn't. You was calling another person's name from the last time I remember. I got my angels that wrote that stuff down. My angels been writing everything you been saying. You did know you had a guardian angel. Oh, didn't nobody show you that scripture? I want to know why. Wasn't they reading my book? Let's read verse 11 again. Wasn't they reading my book? And the Most High shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for is strong that executed his what? Word. For the day of Yahuah is great and very terrible, and who can what? Obey it, abide. Therefore also now, said Yahuah, turn ye even to me with all your heart, which is your mind, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your what? Your mind, which is your heart, and not your garments. Because why? You is part of a royal priesthood, families. These are your priestly garments that you read in Leviticus. Levi. The book of Levi, Leviticus, chapter 19 all the way to 35. You got to read all that, families. You don't do precepts on that. No. You don't do no precepts in Leviticus chapter 19 through 35. You got to read every last one of them chapters. Chapter 19, chapter 20, all of it. Because it's telling you the different colors of your garment, families. And what it holds and the power that it holds and the instructions that you're supposed to do, families, when you wear these type of garments. That way that when you go eat at the table of Yah, you're not wearing different colors. You're wearing white linen. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High Yah. I would stop you in a heartbeat. I wish somebody would sit there and say, oh, thank you so much for I wish you better been the Hasatan is a lie. I not once changed your life. I'm your brother. I'm supposed to help you find it and let you know that the Most High Yah been calling you. If you do not start talking to your Father, start praising him and exalting his name, what are you doing? That means that if you're not exalting him, you're exalting a different Father. And rend your mind, your heart, and not your garments, and turn unto who? Yahuah, your Eldonai. For he is gracious, not the person that showed you the revelation. For he is gracious and merciful. Because families, if it wasn't for him to keep that person alive that's supposed to have changed your life, you wouldn't even know how merciful he was. He had something to do with that. He just used that vessel just to wake you up a little bit because apparently you should have been done knew this years ago. Or maybe somebody told you maybe 5 or 10 years ago. You just thought it was bull crap. But because you see all the things that's going on in this world, you need to find some type of hope, some type of truth. This ain't nothing to play with, families. I'm not here to baby nobody, families. We grown. Period, man. We grown. We ain't got time for all that baby and stuff, families. Baby is for kids, families. That's for children. We ain't got time for that, families. Especially if you got kids, you need to know how to strap up and boot up, families, when that time comes. That's what you need to know how to do. Check this out. And rend your mind, your heart, and not your garments, and turn unto Yahuah your Eldonai, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repented him of the evil. He said, repented him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent? Who gonna know? I ain't gonna know if you gonna do this. I ain't gonna know you gonna do that. All I'm supposed to do, families, is obey these instructions, show you what you supposed to read, give you the understanding of it, families, and keep it pushing. That's what I'm supposed to do, families. Keep it moving. There's rankings in this, families. There's rankings in this, families. Families, I'm trying to make it in the intercourse. That way that I will be holy enough, families, and be worthy enough, families, to eat at the table of my Father. I ain't got time, families, to try to make somebody else feel good. I'm not changing your life. The Ruach HaKodesh changing your life. Who knoweth if he will return and repent, and leaving a blessing behind him, even a meat offering and a drink offering unto Yahuah your Elohim. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a Solomon assembly, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the what? The elders. That's who's supposed to be doing this in this hour, man. It's the elders. Why? Gather the children and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chambers, and the bride come out of her closet. Let the priests, the ministers of Yahuah, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Elohim, and give not thy heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their Elohim? That's what people doing to you right now in this hour, families. They trying to tell you, families, that you praying a different God, families, because you trying to exalt his name. How dare them, families? Because you trying to put a name behind your God, families. We reading the scriptures. We know the name of our Father, families. Don't let nobody stop you from that. Because, families, there's going to come a time, families, where people going to question, then, what is the name of your Father? Do you know? Can thou tell? Then will the Most High be jealous for his land and pity his people. Yea, the Most High will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith. And I will no more make you reproach among the heathen. That's us. That's us that's knowing his name. That's us that taking the time to try to find out his name. That's us, families, that's at least trying to keep the feast days. That's us, families, that's trying to sit here and say you need to keep the commandments. We trying to keep it in the best of our ability in the land of our captivity. We know we ain't going to be able to keep all of them because ain't your land, man. Of course you're not going to be able to keep all of them. But families, at least try to keep some of them. Who telling you can't keep all of them? Those that's trying to tell you, families, man, that the laws and statutes are done away with. But I will remove far off from you from the northern army. I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, and his stink shall come up. Because them people are truly funky, man. They know they stink. They know they stink, man. Dead flesh, because they walking dead. And his ill savior shall come up, because he have done great things. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for Yahuah will do great things. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field. The Most High can't even call you a man; he gonna call you a beast, cause you coming with an animalistic mind state, man. The animals are more smarter than most mankind right now, families, because they know when the Most High Yah gonna come. They know what they supposed to do. They know how to survive. But man, we make it seem like that the Most High ain't gave you the answers in these prophecies. Don't make no type of sense. Let me show you how the Most High been giving you weeks. He been giving you days. He give you months. But these people tell you don't keep these type of stuff. Let's go, families. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pasture of the wilderness do spring. For the tree beareth her fruit, the fig tree, and the vine do yield their strength. Be glad then, ye children of where? Zion. Where is Zion? Where is Zion? All right, no questions asked. Let's continue. And rejoice in Yahuah, your Eldonai, for he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. That's a time zone. That's a time stamp that you need to get right there, families. Remember that, families. Every first month. Let's go. And the floor shall be full of wheat. And families, he's not talking about literally. He's not literally talking about rain. He's talking about spiritually. He will pour out his spirit. He's going to prove that to you. That's what he mean about rain. Rain ain't talking about water. He's talking about, well, actually it is talking about water. It really is talking about the living waters. He's surely right. You're surely right about that. Watch this. And the floor shall be full of wheat, and the vat shall overflow the wine and oil. And I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten, the cankerworms and the caterpillars, and the plumber worms, my great army which I sent among you. This was the army of confusion. This was the army of famine. This was an army of turning a land desolate. This was an army of forgetness. He was going to make you forget everything. But the Most High Yah says that he's going to restore these things back to you. And ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of Yahuah, your Eldonai, and have dwelt wondrously with you. And my people, he's saying he's not saying the whole world here. So we already know who his people is. Israel, you, sons and daughters of Zion. And my people shall never be ashamed. We're not going to be ashamed calling ourselves a son of Zion. You're not going to be ashamed with that. Because you already know who he's talking about. He's talking about you. He's talking about you. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of where? He's not saying the whole world here. Israel, you. And that I am Yahuah, your Eldonai, and none else. And my people, which is Israel, shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass is a future tense, afterwards, that I will pour out my spirit. That's that latter rain. He said there, it says in verse 23, be glad then, ye children of who? Zion, sons and daughters of Zion, and rejoice in Yahuah, your Eldonai, for he hath given you the former rain, which he did it in the latter, in our past. He's going to do it moderately, which is this present day, and he will cause to come down for you the rain and the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. That's the last days, families. The last days that we living in now. So he's not too long. He just told you your past. He told you your present day and your future, families. He will continue to pour out his spirit. Verse 28 again. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters of Zion shall prophesy. Your old man, which is the elders, shall dream dreams, and your young man shall see visions. Dreams and visions are two different things. Two different things. A lot of people want to sit there and say, well, that's the same thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens with an S. Wonders in the heavens with an S. Wonders in the heavens with an S. And in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yahuah come. And it shall come to pass, a future tense, that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahuah shall be delivered. For in Mount what? Zion, and in where? Jerusalem shall be what? Salvation, deliverance. As Yahuah have said, families, thus said the Most High. Man, don't. And the remnant, whom the Most High shall call, families. The remnant is the elect. Let's go to our lesson, man. If you don't go to your classes, families, and they're being around those that are rightly done, if you don't know who he is talking about, families, you gonna be fully confused. You gonna be repping a different banner that you have no business repping, families. Period. I can't be around that. Period, families. I rep Israel, Yasharahla, Yasharahla, Jerusalem. That's what I rep, families. I don't rep nothing else, man. Families, I used to rep a lot of stuff. I'm gonna keep it a bug with you. I used to rep all types of stuff. You create it, I rep it. Families, the Most High is telling us them are secret oaths. It ain't no Illuminati type of like you being Kappa or you being a Sigma or a AKA. It ain't no family. You can make secret oaths just doing stuff on platforms, man. On platforms, families. Them are secret oaths. Man, this stuff is nothing to play with, families. The dude is cunning, man. Hasatan is cunning, man.
In many of her stories, the story of the Moors is a story of stolen and hidden identities. In this video, I hope to address that. But one of the primary things is that the Kabbalah says in order to...
All right, pause, families. Families, now you already know, man, that history is going to come across, families. And a lot of people is going to sit here and say, man, why y'all always want to bring up color and nationalities and stuff? Families, I'm sorry to tell you this, families, but if you're not reading the scriptures, this ain't got nothing to do. We are talking about a bloodline here, man. It ain't got nothing to do with no color. Families, it got something to do with familyhood, a brotherhood, families. And you got those that's within the brotherhood that are vexing their brothers and sisters out here, man. Telling you that you are something that you're not. You're supposed to be children of the true living Elohim. Who's the true living Elohim? He's the Holy One of Israel. That's who he is. Your Redeemer.
Slave of people, you must
Nothing else.
make them black. Black actually means blanco, white. So, let's look into the history of the Moors and who the Moors actually are. So in this part of the series, I am just going to track the transition of the Moors from negro to blanco. From negro to blanco. And this is not necessarily perfectly accurate because this is a lot of information to digest. It's taken me a while to put it together, and it's still not going to be perfectly accurate. So I again call on you to do the research yourself, but I really am trying to look into the faces of the aristocracy to actually see who's who. So this part of the series is called From Renaissance to Reformation and Royals Rebrand. From negro
Hey,
to
shalom, beautiful Queen Life
blanco
of
and
Elizabeth.
back to
We love you,
negro.
sis. It's so good to see you, daughter.
So let's get
Shalom,
started.
Queen.
I'm going to start with reviewing some of the history of the timeline of the Moors. Hopefully I can do that quickly. And then we are going to move into covering the royal lines of Europe from just about the time of the popes, then on to the Medicis, the Italian, the Hohenzollerns, the Habsburgs, the Spaniards, the people of Portugal, the French, and the British, and how they all tied together. I'm going to be jumping around a lot, so please be patient with me because this is really a lot of information. But I will try and stay as on track as possible. And I think the most interesting thing for everybody is going to be to see the faces of these people. And, you know, of course, we have to address how everyone is misrepresented and whitewashed and assigned. There's a lot of error in the genealogies I'm finding. So it's very difficult to do, but let's get into it. So we're going to be looking at these families in terms of the time frame from maybe around the 1300s to the 1800s. And this is probably one of the most prosperous time, and this is around the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade as well. So this is the most prosperous time of Europe. So we're going to be looking at all of these families in terms of them being contemporaries at this pinnacle of European history, and then this transition from negro to blanco. So that's sort of the context that I'm going with here. So just for a quick review, we already established that the Mauritanians appeared about 1100 BC at the time of the height of the Solomon Empire in North Africa. And that was basically in the form of the Ephraimites of the Northern Kingdom trading with the ships of Tarshish out of the area of Gibraltar, what was later called Gibraltar, and trading all the way to North America and up into Europe. These shipping communities or people from these various nations worked together to sell goods between these various kingdoms. After the fall of the Northern Kingdom, it seems that many of the Mauritanians went out again to those areas or remained there. And we established that the Carthaginians were also descended from these Moorish people. They were called Barbars. They were called Moors. They were called Carthaginians. They resided in Egypt. And in 70 AD, at the fall of the temple in Jerusalem, there was another swell in the Moorish community in North and West Africa. But already many of them were already in Europe, in places like...
All right, pause. I'm doing good, beautiful Queen, Life of Elizabeth. May the Most High Yah always bless you and your whole family, sis. May the Most High Yah always hold you, guide you, keep you, protect you in everything that you do, Queen. Exalt His name always. All praises. In Yahush's name, Emmanuel. We're going over our history, sis, and what our history is, sis, is to restore the heritage. There's a era about almost 400 years, sis, what they call the Dark Ages. If, sis, between that 400 years, they took history from you, history that we now got back. We got it back now, but they kept it hidden, and they call it the Dark Ages, sis. That way that they can establish a certain kingdom. And in order to establish this kingdom, you had to rule and conquer. And the only way for you to be able to rule and conquer, you must destroy. Destroy who? Certain people, not just black people. We talking about all people. We talking about what people call religion. Sis, there's no such thing as religion. This is a culture. Everybody that sits there and said they have a religion, you is calling that your culture, like Christianity. People that say they are Christians, that's they culture. You really not a Christian. That's really your culture. But they telling you it's a religion. Who told you that? Have you even like sat down and asked like, hey man, where y'all got that from? Who told you that? Oh, that's all of us, sis. But you got powers, Queen. Beautiful Queen, Life of Elizabeth, Liz, sis. You is pure royalty, Queen. Like all jokes aside, pure royalty. Well, sis. That's the reason why you feel that way, sis, was because you was filled with lies, and throughout we all was, sis. But the Most High, there's a reason why you was always iffy about it. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't iffy about the Creator. You believe in the Son. You believe in the Father. You just certain things just didn't make sense because they hidden a lot of things from you. The question is who and why. Why haven't people ever asked that question? Oh, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is believe. Believe in what? Believe in what? The Father and the Son. And well, if you're supposed to believe in the Father, what is his name? Well, they told me just God, and no, he has a name. Well, if that's his name, then well, Jesus is I mean, yeah, his name is Jesus. But what was his name before they before they called him Jesus? That name holds power now. Don't get me wrong. But sis, he had a name way before he was called Jesus. The reason why, sis, is because if you if you don't have a name for whoever you worship, then sis, your oppressor is going to give you a God that you need to worship, and then after that, sis, you'll be worshiping that idol at that point in time. Like you got to know who you praying to. Praying is worship. When you pray, you is worshiping something. You is praying to something to give you something, either to give you healing or comfort or strength. It can either give you wealth or, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It can be anything. It can be love. It can be you is praying to something to give you something, and you is expecting a answer. That's what praying is all about, sis. It's to give praise to something, that way that you can get an answer from it. Yeah, sis. So let's sit there and say I was a heathen. A heathen means a person that is wicked. Let's sit there and say I was just playing out wicked and you told me God, right? Well, then because you don't know the name of your God, I can say you worshiping Poseidon. I ain't worshiping no Poseidon. How I know? How I know? You just saying God. Well, I'm talking about the God of the Bible. Well, who's the God of the Bible? He has a name. He tell you he's the Holy One of Israel. Yahuah. Once you start you gotta just continue reading your scriptures, fam, sis. Sis, we didn't know this stuff either. Come on now. I'm brand new to it too, sis. But sis, I'm getting stronger, sis, and I feel the Ruach HaKodesh just working through me, Queen. And you will feel His power, sis, and He will bring all things to your remembrance. You just gotta want to wake up, But in order for you to wake up, you have to study. You must study, And how can you study if you mixed around people that saying the exact same thing? They always telling you about grace. They say live by faith and not by sight. But sis, they forget to tell you that faith without works are dead. So. That's because you was a Hebrew. That's the reason why, Queen. Your Bible is meant for you, sis. That's your sword. It holds power. But a lot of people will sit there and tell you, well, a man wrote that. These are men that are prophets. They are your ancestors, sis, and they didn't want to tell you that. They didn't want to sit there and tell you that when you read the book of Job, that's one of your forefathers. Isaiah, he's one of your forefathers. Jeremiah, that's one of your forefathers. Matthew, your forefather. John the Baptist, that baptized Hamashiach, the Christ, Jesus, that was your forefather. They didn't want to tell you that. They didn't want to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? When you read about Joshua and Jacob and all of them are your forefathers. All of them are your forefathers, sis. And they didn't want to tell you that. Who didn't want to tell you that? Your oppressors. Who taught you the Bible? Your oppressors. Well, I learned the Bible from my grandma and well, who taught your grandma? Well, her grandma taught her grandma, and wasn't she a slave? Who taught her? You know what I'm saying? But sis, they had a culture before all that stuff was stripped from them, before all that stuff was lost from them. With that being said, sis, since you're in the building, this is one of your sisters. She's a daughter of Zion, just like you. You is a daughter of Zion, pure royalty, a princess on this earth, a queen. Let's find out who you is. Listen to your sister.
Britain and Spain, and a lot of them moved into Europe and began to take it over. And we've also established that it wasn't until
beautiful Queen Life Elizabeth, the Holy Bible ain't a book of spells. The English language is. The English language is mixed with nothing but spells. The way that you speak is all witchcraft. Sis, me speaking English right now is witchcraft. Straight witchcraft. People that speak Latino, witchcraft. Yeah. The Most High sits there and says that He will restore their pure language. Until then, says He the one that divided the language. And He sits there and says, because we was wicked as hell. We was wicked, sis. It wasn't us. It was our ancestors. But because we is from the seed of our fathers, we got to deal with that curse. You just don't break curses. Who told you break a curse? The Most High gave this curse to your forefather. You come from the seed of that. That's the reason why you is in existence right now, and I'm able to talk to you, Queen. Yeah, people believe that they ain't up under no curse. In order for you to receive a blessing, you must need to know what the curse is. That way that you can be gracious when you receive a blessing, Queen. It will be honorable. It will be wealth worthy. It's deep, sis. But we got to learn. You got to learn. When we go to school, when you go to college, you learn whatever type of degree you want. Let's go.
700 CE and perhaps 800. That's, I would say, about 17 to 1800 years after Mauritania was established, that the Arabs began to call themselves Moors. And the Arabs actually were mixed with the Ottomans, who were actually white people. They were not black Moors. And a lot of these Moorish people were force converted into Muslims. And so sometimes when we're talking about Moors who were Muslims, they're not necessarily genetically Muslims or genetically Ishmaelites. They are still the same people. However, once the Ottoman Empire took over the identity of the Muslims and the Arabs, they pushed into Mauritania and also pushed into Europe with the Moors. And of course, in 1492, we're going to see that the Jews were driven from Spain and flee back to Morocco. And of course, this is when all the Moors are fleeing back under threat of slavery and also having their children stolen. And today we know, present day Morocco is also called Essaouira. So that's my review. Once again, this period in which these black Moors are in Europe is called the Dark Ages, from about 476 AD to 1492. However, this was a time of the conquest of Europe by the Moors and the Negroes. And the Dark Ages are defined by the Europeans as a period of declining morals, public corruption, urban decay, increase in military spending. However, the Moors provided the vital link between ancient and modern civilization, light of knowledge, which illuminated the Moorish lands of Spain and Sicily, and they were instrumental in dispelling the gloom and ignorance that enveloped medieval Europe. Okay, so Europe came under the Moorish revival of culture, writes Robert Bifault in The Making of Humanity. And it was not in the 15th century that the real Renaissance took place, but rather at this time. And Spain, not Italy, was the cradle of the rebirth of Europe. And after sinking lower and lower into feudalism and ignorance, because of the shift in power, it was the Moors who came into Europe and began to transform everything. So let's learn a little bit more about these European Moors. So according to Nature Knows No Color line, the Moors were crossing into Spain after they captured Gibraltar, and they defeated the Goths, white Germanic invaders of 3 centuries earlier. And their commander, Tariq a Negro, gave his name to Gibraltar, formerly called Calpe. And these Africans were Moors, sometimes called Arabs, because of their language. To the Greeks, the Moors were a dark or black people. Moros to the Romans, Moors, a woolly-haired people, synonymous with Ethiopians. But or the river Niger. As late as 5th century AD, the Roman historians called the people of Morocco black. It's presumed that the Romans mixed with Moorish women. Now, Julius Caesar was supposed to have had a Moorish queen. And then it says later came the Vandals, the white people who were allies with the Moors against Rome, and then obviously, there was a mixing with the Romans, but the Vandals are very often misnamed as being Caucasian. They're actually white, and we'll learn in a minute that Queen Charlotte of England considered herself a Vandal, and she considered, or a Wendell, and she considered those people to be Nigers, to be people of the Niger River. And once again, the Ottoman Turks were white Gentiles, saying that they were Arabs, but they often used, like I said before, the Negro Moors converted them to being Arabs and then used them in North Africa. So, as I was mentioning a moment ago, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Queen Charlotte, because I'm here in Vancouver by the Queen Charlotte Islands, and as many people know, Meghan Markle is living out here with Prince Harry now, And of course, they shot their PR movies when Harry met Meghan out here. And so, I did a video on this a while ago. What I'm calling it is a rebrand for the royals. But I talked about the fact that basically the royals know what time it is, and it's time to switch back to black. And so, with the movie and settling on the Queen Charlotte Islands and this uncanny resemblance between Meghan Markle and Queen Charlotte, and then all that's been happening in Europe with her being ostracized with the royals out there wearing, and the aristocracy wearing these Moorish brooches and so on, the subject's on everybody's minds. Now, to be clear, everybody among those royals knows that the true aristocracy are the original Black Moors of Europe. That's who made these very expensive brooches. And so it's actually fear of discovery or acknowledgement of the truth that this particular woman is wearing. I can't remember her name right now, but you can look it up. Is wearing on her chest. And to me, it looks a little bit like a marketing campaign. Of course, nobody makes jewels out of slaves. Only wealthy emperors and conquerors make jewels out of the image of themselves. And so it just shows how much more relevant this time of awakening is. So let's talk a little bit about Queen Charlotte. She was considered a Moor, and she was the wife of King George III and mother to Queen Victoria. Now, I'm not so sure how true that is about Queen Victoria, because Queen Victoria has a very aquiline nose. And both King George and Queen Charlotte had very sort of rounded features. But we were able to confirm, and I actually found this on Frontline, that Queen Charlotte actually penned on the occasion of her wedding to the mad King George III and her coronation celebration, a call back to her Black roots. And this is what she says: descended from the warlike Vandal race, she still preserves that title in her face. Though shone their trumpets o'er Numidia's plain, so Numidia, okay, that's Africa, that's East Africa, and Alusian fields their name retain, but they subdued the southern world with arms. She conquers still with her triumphant charms, O born for rule, to whose victorious brow the greatest monarch of the North must bow. So she affirms in this poem at this time that was found at the time of her marriage and coronation, that she is a Vandal, a one doll, and that she is of East African and Moorish origin. Okay, of Niger. She is one of the people of the Niger River. And of course, we have this wonderful picture of Queen Elizabeth bowing before Haile Selassie, which I thought I'd show you. I don't actually know that Haile Selassie is a true Ethiopian. I actually believe there's another man who is the last true Ethiopian king, but that's another story. But I just thought I'd put that in there. And what is very interesting about King George III, who was called the man King George, is his grandfather, King George I, talked about a great number of his subjects being delivered into slavery in the 1700s. Now, this is well after the Black Arabs of northeastern Europe were conquering Eastern Europe and taking slaves. So I think very much that this is more so talking about the Moors being taken into slavery, and this is what Queen Charlotte and King George shared. And so this may be perhaps the reason why he was called the Mad King George. he had a very large family, and they seemed to have a very strong relationship. So I'm not quite sure that history is, as per usual, portraying him correctly. Now, there were definitely Negroes in Britain before Julius Caesar, and Irish folklore mentions this, mentions black people. And so here are the British family's heraldry, images of heraldry. And what heraldry actually is it's defined as the system by which a coat of arms and other armorial bearings are devised, described, and regulated. Armorial bearings or other heraldic symbols, colorful ceremony. So all the pomp and heraldry, the art and science of devising, displaying, and granting armorial insignia and tracing and recording genealogies is called heraldry. The use of heraldic symbols or coats of arms as a means of identification spread through European nobility in the 13th century. So what happens is that we can look throughout Europe at all of this multitude of coats of arms. And we see up until like the 1400s, just hundreds and hundreds of these coats of arms with the black Moors depicted on them. And so whether it's in Holland, Greece, Switzerland, Portugal, Germany, you have these Negroes in these coats of arms. Okay? And so here are some of the family names. I can barely pronounce them, but Bobas Zidhavia, Grismala, Gerberweiler, Korkaskowski. So we're even in Eastern Europe, right? And you see these ones on the right, it says Mohr, Mohr. Okay? And some of these are Portuguese in the middle, and then the other is German here, Mohren. And we look at all these French and Belgian coats of arms, French, Dutch, Belgian families with names of Negro. You see it's Mohr, Morel, Morali, Mohr with an E, Moreau, Mordson, Morand, Moride, Mormon, Moraes, Morel, all of these various iterations, variations of the name Mohr. And so we look here at this particular set of coats of arms, this last one here, and it says, as shown in Holland and Germany, where Swart, and Schwartzman, that is black. There are families with such names with Negroes in their coats of arms. Belgium has several Moors, Moor van Immersel, Moors with Negroes. Some could have been Negroes in the army of Spain when the latter ruled the Netherlands. So Poland has Mora with Negro. France has many families with Moret, Morel, Morecad, Morot, Moreau, and many other derivatives of Moor are represented by the Negroes. Le Noir, which is still used in France, means black man, and French families with branches in Anjou, Normandy, Brittany, Bon has Negro family. Nigre is still used by the French for Negro. Okay, so the evidence is overwhelming. There's over 490 German crests with black Moors on them from this time period. Originally, the black Moors, during their reign in Germany, had their heraldic traditions for war and ceremony. And later on, as their empire waned, they served in the courts as musicians, servants, confidants, and they even served in the church as priests and nuns. And actually, this was from the beginning. They were serving as priests and nuns to the Gentiles, because the Gentiles did not know the Messiah or the true faith. You can see in this image, Germany had a black Queen of Sheba in their Bibles. And also, the Prussian Empire or the Teutonic Knights held sway very powerfully in Germany. In July 15th, 1410, there was the Battle of Grunwald, the Crusades against the pagans, and we see this on the right. We see Ulrich von Jungingen, and he's fighting against the pagans. On the left, we see a whitewashed image of him, and he was the 26th Grand Master of the Teutonic Knights, and Teutonic coming from the word like Deutonic, like Deuteronic, like the book of Deuteronomy. White Europeans at this point in time had converted to Christianity, but the Christianity that was going on in Lithuania in 1386 was a different kind of Christianity than what these Moors had taught. And so this king of Lithuania had married the queen of Poland, and there was this war over what they believed in. And why was that? Because the Moors were Nazarenes. They were Hebrew followers of Yeshua, and they believed in the order of Melchizedek. And they did not accept the conversion of the Lithuanians because it was based on Catholicism, what they believed to be a false religion. So this Battle of Grunwald captures the moment of the defeat of the Moors, and you see this Teutonic Knight king wearing his black cross-like belt as he's being defeated in all his glory here by the army. Later on, we have Albrecht von Hohenzollern, who is the Duke of Prussia from 1490 to 1568. And he is part of the Habsburgs and the Hohenzollern Empire. So these are the Moorish Germans, the black Moorish Germans. And of course, you see them evangelizing throughout. And a little bit more evidence we can find as to the difference in the religion of the dark-skinned Moors versus the Christians and Catholics was that these 40 soldiers in Europe, refuse to reject the Messiah and convert to Constantine Christianity, and they throw themselves in the ocean after almost freezing to death. So again, it's a different faith that the Moors were teaching as compared to the Constantine Christianity or Catholicism or even Protestantism. So just to reiterate, once again, the term Moor appears in European heraldry always meaning Negro. And it's a heraldic term for the head of a black or Negro man, And the Greeks, again, called them Moros, which I told you in my earlier shows, and it means black or dark. And the Moors, Ethiopians, Negritines, Negroes were one in the same. And actually, to Claudian, he spoke of the Moors who dwelt beside the waters of Gur, famous rivers of Ethiopia that overflow its banks, the Niger River. So now we're absolutely sure of who the Moors are. So Sir William Smith said that the Moors were known in the Alexandrian dialect as the Blacks and the Moors, that were the Numidians, just like Queen Charlotte was talking about. And the word Mauritania meant inhabited by black populations, was later called Negrita or Negro land. So therefore, the Moor, is the equivalent of Negro, and it's said to signify a primitive black population, but it's actually quite the opposite, because it was the Moors that civilized Europe.
All right, pause. Beautiful Queen, Life Elizabeth. Don't be don't be lost, sis. What it is, sis, is that she's telling you about the dark ages. There was an era called the dark ages, sis, and we are trying to restore it. Right now, we got the great awakening that's happening amongst Israel. If you ever read the Holy Scriptures, you will see the word Lord of Hosts. And the Lord of Hosts, families, that's like me coming to your house, Elizabeth. And sis, you is the host of your own home, or the man. It ain't even gotta be you. You know what I'm saying? It could be your husband. Because really the man is the head of the household. So if you do have a significant other, then the host of that household will be your husband. You know what I'm saying? So I will have to acknowledge your husband. How do that look like me coming to your house and I done gotten invited, but I don't even know who the host name is. I just know I'm invited to a party. Well, sis, this party is a royal wedding. We done got invited to be restored back into a covenant that we broke. We didn't break it. Our ancestors broke it. But because we come from the seed of our father, that's the reason why I'm breathing, then I have to honor the covenant. It's a promise that the Most High Yah made to his children. And because we disobeyed him, we broke a covenant. Some people sit there and say, well, I wasn't there. I didn't break nothing. Yes, you was. You surely was there. Yes, you was. You surely was there. You just don't remember it. You don't remember. But we done already went to scriptures to prove that the Most High already knew your name before you was in the womb, even in your womb of your mother. We done already went to that scripture. So, I mean, I can't follow nothing else. I can't follow different. You know what, sis? I see what's going on. You need a spiritual lesson. It's okay, families. We will go back into all truth. We might end up doing that tomorrow and finish up this class for our Shabbat weekend lesson. Beautiful Queen, Life of Elizabeth. We do lessons whenever the Most High Yah brings the rock to us, and when he feel like it's time for us to give out the word. And sis, we don't do lives every day just to be for no entertainment. No, we do edifying lives to wake up Israel, to wake up to show you who you are and your identity and your superpowers. How can you claim something that is so powerful, but you don't even know how to use it? Don't make no type of sense. And you got billions on this planet right now that say they woke, and they don't even know how to unleash the power that's inside of them. Don't make no type of sense. But in order for you to know what type of power you got, you need to know what you up against. Let's go to that lesson right now. Well, matter of fact, families, we're going to play 2 songs, then we're going to go to that lesson. In order for you to know what type of powers you have inside of you, this was built inside of you. You was created like this. You just got to turn it on. Beautiful Queen, you can always go to Rebirth for Nation. You can go to Hebrews to Negroes. You can go to Into All Truth. You can go to Israel Church. You can go to IOG News. You can go to Honor and Humility STL. You can go to man, there are so many. Sis, I can. I go to my classes, sis, so I'm in a Facebook groups. I get the notification of when the lessons are going to be started, when our Bible classes are going to be started. Most of them don't do Instagram, sis. We got some that do Facebook Live, but most of the people that I go to is which are elders. They really don't get on Instagram because that's a gossiping website. The only reason why you go on Instagram is to self-idolize yourself, because all you send on Instagram is photos of what? Yourself. People that take thousands and thousands of pictures of what? Themselves. And then you make posts, which is what? Gossiping. Straight gossiping. Gossiping. So we don't, Israel don't too much fool around with that. Oh, you want to know the Facebook group? Oh, that's what's up, sis. Hey, she want to learn. That's what's up. All right, bet that. All right, okay. Now, sis, in order for you to be able to go in, they got to be able to see your face a couple. But they accept anybody that's in this awakening right now, sis. They do. So, man, I got so much I want to show you right now, sis. But I can't. I can't get off schedule, sis. So maybe on tomorrow, I can kind of show you like some basic steps that you can for you to catch up to where we at. You know what I'm saying? Because we started from the bottom, sis, and we slowly but surely trying to move up rank. You know what I'm saying? That way we can get our priestly garments. And sis, you wear beautiful garments, sis. Your garments are beautiful. The daughters of Zion, y'all garments. When you read Leviticus chapter, it tells you all about your garments. So let's go to our other lesson. We got to go to our other lesson because you have to know what you're up against. Oh, I don't get notifications either, sis. I don't get none of my notifications, Queen. I just got to thank the Most High that He keeps my mind focused on trying to learn. So I'll be like, man, I want to know what you call live or went live today, or if they did the video. So I go check on them. I'm always checking on y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Those that's trying to edify the body. And so I'm always checking. I don't never get no notification for none of the people I'm subscribed to. But I think about y'all because we family. We are royal family. We more than just family. I'm talking about royal. We are pure royalty. Like, all jokes aside, we royalty for real. Pure, above all nations. Let's continue.
Tryna put on a mask and act like these things are just going past me like they nothing, cause I know they something, and I just need you to know why. I used to let the light fade away, even through the darkest day. I got to see the light, and the one I follow, yeah, he makes it easy. I know I don't got it all, I ain't got it figured out, but with every fall, he told me I'll make it out just the way he planned it out. All I gotta do is trust in him and know that he will work it out, work it out. Oh, no, 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 yeah, you know it. Oh, no, 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 yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you know it. Oh, no, 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 yeah, you know it.
Let's go.
I don't got it all planned out, but you know, I just watch it all planned out, cause I know that you know, covered in this life until forever. I don't got it all planned out, but you know, I just watch it all planned out, cause I know that you know, covered in this life until forever.
Walk step by step, but I'm on a different pace. You won't see me on the ground, cause I'm walking on the waves. I don't ever look down, 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 I'm just focused on his face. I don't gotta know it all, that's a different type of faith. Hold up, I know you gon' show up every time. When I'm good, when I'm bad, when I'm low, when I'm high, yeah. When I'm lost, look to God, he my guide, yeah. Haters talk, let them talk, no reply, yeah. Wait, I find strength inside my weakness. Expectations, you exceed them. Do my my best, you superseded. I'm complete cause you preceded me. Yeah, you know it. 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 I don't got it all planned out, but you know. I just watch it all planned out, cause I know that you know. You know, covered in this life until forever. I don't got it all planned out, but you know. I just watch it all planned out, cause I know that you know, you know, covered in this life until forever. Tell me who hurt ya. Tell me who lied to ya. Tell me who stopped the growth and trampled hope inside ya. Who's the accuser? Sit down and abuse ya. I'm your future. All these rumors going down, down. He gon' take your bitterness and give you joy. He gon' take your broken heart and make it whole. He gon' paint the sky and turn it white as snow. He gon' take it all. He gon' take it all. Get you before you fall. Be still, all things change when he speaks. Whoa. Peace, be still. Here comes the storm in me. Tell me who hurt ya. Tell me who lied to ya. Tell me who cast the stone and set your dreams on fire. I'm your future, and you want me to that. Learn to be patient. All these rumors going down, down. He gon' take your bitterness and give you joy. He gon' take your broken heart and make it whole. He gon' paint the sky and turn it white as snow. He gon' take it all. He gon' take it all. Get you before you fall. Be still. All things change when he speaks. Oh, peace, be still. Here comes the storm in me. All things work together for my good, 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 good. All these rumors going down for good, 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 yeah. Be still, all things change when he speaks. Change when he speaks. Peace, be still. Here comes the storm in me. Here comes the storm in me. Be still, all things change when he speaks. All things, all things, all things. Peace, be still. Here comes the storm in me. Be still. Oh, peace, be still. Be still. Be still. Peace, be still.
I see you, beautiful Queen Anointed. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful Queen O'Shea. I see you, Queen King. Well, I am. Let's go. Beautiful Queen, Life of Elizabeth. Hey, Queen. I hope you're still in the building. Now, I need to show y'all families how y'all going to be able to fight this. But families, in order for you to know how to fight it, you got to know what you up against. A lot of people read about principalities and darkness of this world, but you don't even know what it is. You know, you don't know what it is. You don't know how to fight it. You don't know how can you assist in the heavens. No, none of that. So let's get, hey man, my brother King lyrically, let's go, bro. That's my brother, man. Let's get it, families, bro. Y'all make sure y'all check out my brother new mixtape that gonna be coming to a nation near you. Everybody, y'all show him love, families. Show him love, families. That way, that families, whenever he drop off his new exclusive song, families, you be the first one to hear it. Let's go.
Mishpaka, how y'all doing, family? Climb on in this deal. All praise to Yahuah by Hashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, Wapa Adam in his name and in his blood. All praises. We got a business deal. Solomon here to wage war against the kingdom of darkness. The scripture, because we are here to be biological weapons of Yahweh. We are here to wage war against the kingdom of darkness. That's the only reason why we're here in this earthly realm. This is a chemical testing complex realm. You're here to, it's a test. Have y'all ever seen people that go into the military? They have to actually create the illusion of war and do their optics and test. And if they pass it, then they get to graduate and actually go into other realms or into other different levels of the army. Same thing with this. This is literally a testing battleground. What are you doing while you're here? Is you waging war in the spirit or not? And the thing is, if you either fighting against Satan or you are on his side. You either fighting against him or you fighting with him. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for us to really choose and stand up. All right, let's get it. Let's go and pray in real quick.
That's right.
All right, families. Now, a lot of people, this is no diss to nobody, families. How you pray is how you pray, families. But when you is petitioning the heavens, when you is doing ascensions to the heavens, families, there's a different way that you have to do it. A lot of people like to sing King David's song to the heavens, families. And families, when he was praying, families, he was dancing with it. Families, these people took this culture from you. Why? I can't tell you the reason why. All I know, families, is they done it. You have to bring it back. How are you able to bring it back if you don't know how to, if you only know where to start? You don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Come on, Nick.
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's get it done.
Shabbat day. Y'all supposed to be amped in this deal, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody all sad, dry eyes.
Are y'all ready?
Let's get her done.
Yabareka Yahweh Veish Merika Yael Yahweh Pana Elika Vikuneka Yasa Yahweh Pana Elika Ve'asem Leka Shalom Ve'asem Leka Shalom Yabareka Yahweh Ve'ish Merika Yael Yahweh Pana Elika Vikoneka Yasa Yahweh Pana Elika Ve'asem Leka Shalom Ve'asem Leka Shalom Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
The Most High shall bless you. The Most High shall keep you, and He shall shine His grace upon you. He will bless you. He will keep you. And He will give you peace. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yahweh El Elyon, we bring before your throne all the sick in Israel. And we bid thee to rain down a healing that is complete
a healing that is understood, Heavenly Father. You use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to raise the dead, cast out devils, cleanse lepers, and heal every manner of sickness. Use us as your battle axe and weapons of war to tread on serpents, scorpions, leviathan, principalities, and all the rules of darkness. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war that in our very presence, the devils cry out and flee, Heavenly Father. Yahweh Zebaoth, send forth your heavenly armies, confound and put down any and all opposition, whether it be unclean spirit or any so-called disease. And we thank you now in the name of Yahuah Mashiach. We plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah over this assembly. We plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah over our family online. And we claim a healing deliverance that is complete, a healing deliverance that's understood, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now.
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 Thank you for the victory right now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, we plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah against every unclean spirit. We plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah against every so-called illusion called a disease. We bind it and we command it to come forth now. We bind it and we command it to go into a herd of swine. We bind it and we command it to go into the bottomless pit. We bind it and we command it to go wherever Yahushua gonna send it, but it has no authority and no jurisdiction over this assembly or your loved ones online. And we thank you right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. Toda Rabbah, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go, family. Let's go, family. Hey, yo, bro. All praises, King, lyrically, man. Yes, beautiful Queen Khan, beautiful Queen No Shade. The song is beautiful, so families and families. Your prayers don't be no watered down prayers, families. Don't let it be no watered down prayers, families. Let's go.
Yeah. All praise, hallelujah. All praise, hallelujah. So look again, y'all. This is called When Demons Are Giving Legal Rights. So what I want to do, I'm going to share my screen, y'all, and I most definitely want to start this off in Revelation chapter 3. We're going to start this off in Revelation chapter 3. Let me share my screen real quick. You need it. Get the one from Maccabee. Maccabee, let us get this other phone holder thing. All right, let me share my screen, family. Bang. Get that. Share screen. Bang. All right, y'all type in some nines if y'all can see my screen, too. Type some nines in for me. All right, let me pull y'all up online and make sure I'm looking at y'all. And look, let's get to it. Let's get to it. I got a water right here. Told I Roberto, all right, if y'all can see my screen, type in some nines, family, and let's get this started. We're going to start this off in the book of Revelation, chapter 3. I want to start it at 18, family. Book of Revelation, chapter 3. We're going to start it at 18. I mind you again, this is literally talking about when demons are giving or granted legal rights to come inside you. And once you get in these scriptures, you're going to realize that we allow ourselves to be, quote unquote, attacked. We allow ourselves to be these dwelling places for every foul bird, for every foul creature, and for every foul thing that walketh. And just because it walks doesn't mean that it have to have a body. Do y'all understand me? Just because it walks around doesn't mean that it have to be a human vehicle. Because demons got legs, they walk too. Demonic angels, they fly, they have wings. So we're gonna show the difference between what a fallen angel is and what a demon is. All right, and we're gonna get to it. And we're literally knee deep in a spiritual warfare, and Yahweh created us to truly be a biological weapon for him. What y'all think Adam and Eve was really created for? They was created to wage war against Satan's kingdom. And what happened was they end up falling to Satan's kingdom. And for that, we all die. So we since all those many thousands of years ago, basically 6,000 years ago, we've been trying to get back under the sun and apostleship under Christ, under that tree of life. And you have to go through the battlefield to get there. So if the kingdom of Yahweh was across a football field, but it was 100,000 demons ready to kill you, and the only way you can get to that kingdom is going through, ain't you finna be training up? Ain't you finna be getting ready for that war? So why are we not doing that in the spirit? So let's talk about it. All right, so we're going to Revelation chapter 3. We're going to start at 18, Nehemiah. If y'all can hear me well, y'all can see this board well, type in some nines, and then Nee going to start reading for y'all. Again, please write this stuff down because this is a lot of good information. A lot of good information. And I'm just realizing, talking to Big Bro Malachi Maccabee, he went over a little bit of this yesterday, just showing you the same spirit. Same spirit. Solomon Fatton, there you go, mentioning Genesis. I always go back to that. Because look, that was the beginning, man, the beginning of all things, and that's what we're going back to. We're literally going back to the Garden of Eden. That's the new Jerusalem that's coming down. He's going to put everything back like it was supposed to be from the beginning, except this time it won't be no opposition, and it won't be no rebellion, and it won't be any type of mind frame to even sin. But we're going back to the garden, y'all. All right, let's get it, Nick.
All right. Revelation chapter 3, verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold, tried in the fire.
Come on.
That thou mayest be rich, in white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
Come on.
As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten.
You see that? So when you're going down and you're getting corrected, rebuked, you're getting rebuked and chastened, this means that Yahweh actually love you. You know what I'm saying? The people that be like, nah, my mama never whipped my butt. Them be the people that's all wild out here doing all types of ungodly things. You see what I'm saying? So just imagine if Yahweh never put his hands on you or corrected you or told you nothing. That means he don't love you, right? But we finna find out through him loving you, he might send something out there to test you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Look, the Most High doesn't tempt, but he do test. All right? Satan Hashatan tempts you. The Most High gonna put a test out there to see if you pass it or not. And that's a difference too. Shabbat shalom, my brother. You coming up here? All right, let's get it. Let's get it, Nick.
Verse 19 again. We're in Revelation chapter 3, verse 19. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten.
Come on.
Be zealous therefore and repent.
You see that? He's saying the reason why I'm chastising you, the reason why I'm whooping your butt is because I need you to repent. I need you to turn back, turn from your wicked ways. Because while you in your wickedness and while you entertaining wicked thoughts, this is what allows demons to have legal right to inhabit your body. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? When you entertaining thoughts, them thoughts of hatred, them thoughts of being envious, them thoughts of, man, I would never forget that nigga. These are the doorways and the entryways that give demons and Hashatan legal right to seize and access your house or your home or what we call your temple, right? You don't stop giving Satan probable cause. That's what we doing.
Sounds like a lawyer.
Yes, and we finna get into the court system and show y'all the legalese of the heavenly courts.
He sound like a prosecutor or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what Hashatan is, an accuser. And who is your lawyer? Christ. Then you got witnesses, you have the court, you got the judge, you have a sentence.
And a punishment.
Yes, and you most definitely have a punishment. And we finna go through this whole thing and show you, in order for Hashatan to even sin either lower ranking fallen angels or to sin what we call the pawns. These are demons. These are nothing but offset spirits from giants. These pawns, they ain't really nothing. They whack. We can cast them out quick. Try casting out a fallen angel out of somebody. That's a real battle right there. And this is what we training for, because that's what's coming up out of that bottomless pit. Demons is, them weaklings. What's coming out of that pit is thousands and thousands of fallen angels.
Pause. Now, families, these are leading up to the what? People that you idolize, people, the names that you be exalting through your lips, families, instead of giving praises to the Most High Yah, families, for using that certain vessel to wake you up during a certain time. It's just supposed to be for a certain time. Families, most of these people have fallen angels on them. How do you know this? We finna go back to this lesson. Let's go. The scriptures speak for itself, families. But if you don't know what to go search for, man, families, you're gonna fall for anything. Ah, they wrong for that. Man, they straight up wrong for that. Families, there was I could have been able to go show y'all families. There's a article where LeBron James and Anthony Davis got the exact same tattoo, families, and they got a black mamba, and they just tatted this black mamba to pay tribute to Kobe death, families. That's what I mean about exalting, families. When you start putting like tattoos on your body, when you start speaking, when you start exalting people's names and stuff like that, families, and you don't truly know, like, man, this stuff is deep, families. Nah, man, dang. It was on my feed. Yeah. Oh well, families. Let's go back to our lesson. Yeah, sis, there was a tattoo by Kobe. I mean, not Kobe, but by LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And dang. Hold on. I know what I can do. There you go. Let's go. Let me find an article first, families. That way it won't kind of block me. LeBron James, Kobe tattoo, tribute, Mamba for life. Now, families, these are the exact same things that we be doing, families, when you be on your social media sites, when you be in certain organizations and families, and you scream out something for life. We can't do that no more. You getting a little too hot out here. You need some milk. You getting too hot out here. Families, getting too hot out here means the lake of fire. Families, you can't be screaming out no order. No, your banner is supposed to be Israel for life, the New Jerusalem for life, the Most High Yah for life, nothing else. LeBron James has a new piece of body art, a tribute to Kobe Bryant, complete with imagery of a black mamba. Both LeBron and Anthony Davis hit up tattoo artist Vanessa Arrelia on Wednesday, looking to pay tribute to Kobe with some fresh ink. Fast forward to Thursday morning, when Bron and the Lakers was working out in front of the Lakers facility in El Segundo and gave the media a sneak peek at his new art. The tat is still under wraps, but it appears he got a black mamba snake with some words underneath. Some people in the office think it reads Kobe for life, but it's really hard to tell. We're told Bron plans to do a big reveal on his Instagram soon, most likely before he takes to court on Friday, when the Lakers take on the Portland Trail Blazers at the Staples Center. All right, families. So now you gotta watch how you speak. You gotta watch what type of tats you get in. You gotta watch what you saying for life. Cause what you bound on earth, you as well bounded in the heavens, families, for life. Watch what you speak into existence. Cause what you bound on earth, you are as well bounded in the heavens. For life.
So the fight is finna get real. So we have to learn our legalese. We have to learn where we stand at in the position. You see the more science and all of that, they know how to buy back their birth certificate, buy back their rights. They know how to change their name and own their birth name and buy all that. Imagine if we can do that in the spirit, though. Satan will have no legal grounds to jurisdiction. And that's what we finna show and prove. All right, come on with it.
Verse 20, Revelation chapter 3.
And read that slow and loud for them, brother.
Behold, I stand at the door.
All right, so look, now we see. This is a Mashiach Yahushua. He's saying, behold, I stand at the door. I stand at the door. So your doorways or your senses to your mind, right? So look, a Mashiach Yahushua is always standing there. He's always standing there, come on.
And knock.
And he's knocking. Whenever you're knocking on the door, that means you want somebody to come to the door, right? You want somebody to answer. So literally, we are being called to Yahushua Mashiach. We're not calling him. He coming to us. We don't have to give him a personal invitation. He coming to see you. This how much he loves you, right? Come on.
If any man hear my voice.
If you hear his voice while he knocking. You know what I'm saying? You hear the knock. Hey, come open the door if you hear it. But this take a spiritual discernment, and this take you literally want to change your lifestyle. This take you literally want to change your past. This take you literally want to be a new creature and put behind the former things. Because all former things are what? Passed away. Right? So he's talking about you wanting to be a new creature. When you really desire that and you really want that, you're going to start hearing knocks in your mindset. Dang, who was that? Dang, that's the voice of Yahweh. Let me let him in. Let me let him in and dwell. But he's showing you that he can't even come in due to free will unless you what? Invite him in. Now, if it's the same way with your Lord and Savior, it's just the same way with your master teacher, wouldn't it be the same way with Hashatan, who was way beneath him? Way beneath him.
But it's an order.
It's an order, and that's the whole point. In court, there is order, right? Order, they be banging the thing against the gravel. And if you out of order, you get held in what? In contempt. Let's talk about it. Come on, start from 20 again.
Then also you gotta realize too, look, y'all been seeing it in movies all these times. When you watch all these movies like about vampires, this and that, they have to be invited in.
Yeah.
They have to be invited.
They do.
They just can't come in. You know what I'm talking about?
Like vampires, families. Like vampires. Children of the night, my brothers and sisters. But families, man, the Most High Yah said that he made two greater lights. Who was the two greater lights?
That's the power you have. If you ever see them, how they pour salt around or put salt at the door or whatever like that, these things are natural. These things can't be broken through. You see what I'm saying? You cannot be penetrated unless you operate in a manner of lawlessness.
Yeah.
Then these doors open, and then guess who comes in?
Yeah. I mean, and then what you
can't say the devil made me do it. You did it. And
what you gonna really start to find out is there's such thing. Okay, we have the 10 Commandments, right? These are literally the laws that were given to every flesh upon the earth. But then you have something called universal laws or universal commandment, meaning if I throw this bottle up right now in the air, I better move out the way, because what's gonna happen? The law of gravity or friction is going to bring it back down and I might bust my head. Well, you have something called reaping and sowing. These are spiritual laws. And once you get into the book of Romans, we see that Paul said the law became what? Spiritual. Why is he saying that? Because he's telling you we are not only operating under a fleshly law no more. We operating in the spiritual realm, and it is demons actually held to the spiritual realm. So we're going to start getting into the legalese of their laws, and by law, if you have done something that is spiritually dissatisfying to Yahweh, you have just given a demon legal rights to inhabit your mind. Period. So like he said, you can never say that you've been tempted by Yahweh. You was tempted by what? Your own lust.
Drawn away by your own lust.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Revelation chapter 3 verse 20 again. Behold, I stand and at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open.
So not only do you have to hear his voice, then you have to what? Open the door. Come on.
I will come into him.
Then he will come into you. Notice he didn't say, I will come into the house. I won't come into the building. I will come into him. Meaning that Satan can dwell in you. Meaning that Satan and the fallen angels, demons can dwell in you eternally too. Y'all see how deep that is? But you have to open the door to let them in. Boy, this takes sin to a whole nother level, don't it? So you were straight responsible. Yeah, it's your. That's why it will be without excuse.
Pause. That's why families whenever you see them vampire movies and stuff like that, families they have to be invited in, families. That's why they got to be in that's why they gotta be in a coffin. They gotta sleep in the daytime, families, and they come at night to do what? They're wickedness, families. They coming to suck out the what? The soul of you. They coming to suck out the soul of you, families. And then the only way that they could be able to do that is to manipulate your mind, keep you unfocused, give you delusions, families. Talk about this, be a busybody. You a teller. You gossip a lot. Families, you got more dudes out here that do so much talking. They talk more than a female does. These cats are out of order, man. I ain't never seen a man that can talk more than a woman. That's a red flag, families. A red flag. And the man that's doing all the talking ain't talking no ordership. Man, you getting too hot out here. You need some milk. You ain't ready for the spiritual meat. You need some milk, because you getting too hot out here.
Huh? You heard him knocking? You even went back and forth to yourself. Man, I ain't gonna say that. I am not finna make that Facebook post. You know, whatever. Got me messed up. They ain't saying
it's crazy.
Post.
We cannot
Post up.
We
You done
must
let 'em
not
in.
be amongst that.
You see what I'm saying? Come on.
You will be part of that.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him.
You see that sup? When you sup with somebody, that means to fellowship. We finna get to know each other. Some of the best conversations get done over some food. Some of the best conversations, some of the greatest ideas, some of the greatest business ventures, the greatest revelations be done over just breaking bread with somebody. So he's saying, look, I'm going to come to your door. I'm going to knock on your mindset. And then if you let me in and you hear my voice, I will fellowship with you. That is beautiful.
And he with me.
And what?
And he with me.
Come on.
To him that overcometh, what I grant to sit with me in my throne.
Do you hear this? This is part of the heritage you get just for letting Yahuah in and being covered by his blood. You get to partake of his throne. Do you understand that? Guess who he share a throne with?
His rulership, that's right.
Yahweh. So hold on, I can be a part of this throne? All I have to do is not give Satan legal rights and invite him in. That's it. That's it. Come on, let's read this to 22 and then we're going to go and get it.
And am set down with my Father in his throne.
Ooh, that's hard. Come on.
He that has an ear,
let him hear.
Let him hear what the Spirit said unto the church.
All right, let's get it. Ephesians 4. Ephesians 4, 20 to 27. Book of Ephesians 4, 20 to 27.
Right, you want to understand, that's why when you understand that you are the temple, right? Isn't Christ the high priest?
Most definitely.
Who officiates the temple?
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
Now, who wants to rise himself above the throne of the Most High? So if you let him in, he is the God in your temple.
And don't get it twisted. He was a high priest too. So you can have a demonic high priest over your temple, doing all types of initiations, and you let these things in with occultism. You let these things in by entertaining things, getting into all these different spiritual doctrines, just even allowing and entertaining your mind to try to process something wicked. You allowing legal grounds for Satan to come in. Notice most of these.
Oh, then what my brother Yaki is trying to let you know, families, that you have to know what deep families. When it sits there and says that Hasatan, 2/3 of the heavens, don't no man know how many angels that is. And families, we are talking about fallen angels, man, from the heavenlies. People need to wake up, man. You don't know what you truly up against, family. We is talking about a kingdom full of nothing. We ain't talking about demons. We talking about fallen angels. They are way more powerful than some giants, families. Like my brother was trying to tell you, families, you need to know how to fight these things. But families, you got too many crybabies out here, man. They want to. They looking for the sympathy of a woman to exalt their name, and then sit there and say, "I'm humble by that." Humbleness ain't got nothing to do when it's time to strap up and boot up. When it's time to fight, man. The Most High sit there and says the meek will inherit the earth. He's right about that. But families, in order for him to sit here and come, families, we must petition him. He gonna come regardless. Families, if he got to do what he did at the beginning, man. If he got to kill almost this whole earth, he sits and says that he will turn rocks. He will bring rocks to life, families. That I'll tell you one thing, families. I'm trying to study. That's what I'm trying to do. Beautiful Queen, you said, I have a question. So when I hear knocking or someone saying my name or see certain things, but people aren't always there, is that God or is my mind just playing games? Because I be thinking I'm tripping. Sis, that can be like a catch-22 sometimes, sis. Because your question, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Because the Most High, he don't work with wickedness. So like you will have to stay focused at all times, Queen. Like what we doing, you must be tested. You will never be tried, sis. You must be tested. But Hasatan, because he wants you so much. Just like he did to Job. He wants you so badly because he know how powerful you is. He wants you so badly that he's willing to accuse you. Sit here, he accuse you, sis. Nah, you ain't real. That ain't one of your chosen ones. And then he can tell the Most High, I can prove it. He can use a best friend. He can use your mama, your daddy. He can use somebody you love. He can use a whole group of people that talk about how smart you are just to exalt your name. And that's how you can prove it. And that's how they would thank the Most High Yah later. They gonna thank the vessel first. That's how he can prove it. I told you he wasn't no chosen one. I told you that people would love him and not you. They love man. They love their own kind. They don't love who created them. They don't exalt your name. You ain't the omnipotent. You ain't the beginning and the end. You ain't the Alpha and the Omega. They will exalt their brother before they exalt the Creator. Family, this is nothing to play with, man. People think this is a game. Why? Because people don't do precepts. That's why. You don't know the ordership. You don't have instructions. You want to do chapter for chapter for chapter, thinking you getting some understanding, and you far off the mark, man.
People that you deliver from, they either had occultism practice. They was either deeply rooted into metaphysics. Look, I went to the crib about 2 weeks ago and threw all my books away. Them deals got stumped on, pages ripped out.
Boy, got tossed. About that too.
Got tossed. I'm not playing no game. After we casting out devils and I'm really learning to understanding this stuff, I'm like, oh no, it's too much of a thin line. Let me draw my line now. I ain't even playing around no more. Flat out. For real. I'm not even playing around no more. I ain't got no time for that. And you talking about fifth dimensional beings, and if you meditate and look this way, you can enter. No, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm Yod, hey, Wav, hey, Yahweh, hey. That's all I need right there. All this hum to the vibration of the sun frequency. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I watched us cast out devils, and I ain't need none of them books. I didn't need none of them metaphysical books. All I needed was Yahweh and been covered by his blood and the faith and belief that he is true and that he reigns. And we did some things that I ain't never done in my life.
Pause. Now, sis, you want me to tell you what Yaki, the key thing that he said right there? He ain't mentioning no brother. He didn't mention no sister. He didn't mention no video. He didn't mention a music song. He mentioned his creator. That's who he mentioned. Families, all of Israel speaking like that right now. The only people that's not talking this is those that claim a religion. Those that say they are Christian apologists, Seventh-day Adventists, Pentecostal, Jehovah Witnesses, Islam, if you Muslim, those that are atheists, KKKs, you can name it, man, name it. Sis, we got so many religions out here. It's sad, sis. The Greeks used to worship a different God for every day. Sis, it's crazy out here. That's why you must know ordership. But families, Israel, we used to be wicked then, but families, we always exalted the Most High Yahuah's name. We always done that. What changed? The younger generation. We did. We changed. Families, we more wicked than our ancestors. That don't make no type of sense. And we talking about our ancestors? Families, at least they knew ordership. At least they was trying to keep some commandments. Families, we don't keep nothing and we all out of order. When you out of order comes chaos, man.
And I done been through all types of metaphysical training. I got straight plaques on my wall in my basement showing metaphysician level 3, Reiki healing from 1 to 5, master this, master that, crystal healing energies. You know what I mean? I've been to classes in school to learn this stuff. Did none of that stuff. None of it. Teach me how to cast out them devils. None of it. That blew my mind. That blew my mind. None of it. The hell I've been doing for the last 10 years? Nothing.
Getting better. Getting better.
What
else you been doing?
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to show y'all. But while I was doing that, I was allowing Satan to have legal rights because you're entertaining and open up certain doorways because you want all the knowledge. The same thing that Eve wanted. I just want to know. Just want to know. Oh, surely you won't die. Come on. And then now look what we all got to go through because she wanted that knowledge and she didn't want to go through the proper order and steps to attain that knowledge from Yahweh by eating of the tree of life. She wanted to get it the quick way, and that was the tree of knowledge, good and evil. Now for that we all die. It's time to put away all of that. Ain't no time for all that. Yes, metaphysics is good. Yes, we can read this Bible, interpret it in many different ways. Let's keep it basic. Let's keep it simple. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. We need to know our legalese. You don't need to be knowing, yes, you pray on one foot and face the east and your arm go towards the north. This will align your glandular highway.
Towards the line.
Yeah, no, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We just cast out Satan with the Bible. Yeah, we just cast out Satan with the Bible. Come on now. That trumps a lot of things. Shalom, brother. Glad to see you. All right, let's get it.
Right.
We had Ephesians 4.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Deuteronomy 7 and 26. Don't bring a cursed thing into your house.
That's straight up.
Unless you become a curse like it.
Look.
You gotta be your word, what you bring
into your temple.
Mally, how my bookshelf look now? It got all gaps in it, don't it?
Very, very empty.
Hey, my bookshelf look empty than a mug. I went home one night, boy. I took down everything. Rib was like, what are you doing? That's thousands of dollars worth of books. I'm like, F these books. I'm deep. Hey, I took my stance and boldly. Like, Yahweh, I will never allow nothing cursed. Anything that will question your name will not be allowed in this house. No, in this house.
That boy got a fireplace too. He definitely can't.
Hey, I'm talking about they got out.
They got a fireplace.
They got out. So look, the next day, this is how crazy it works though. The next day, Mally and Yakana, Ellie came over. And Ellie was talking about this Dracula movie. Remember, I just took my stand and said, I'm not allowing nothing, whether it's thrillers, terror, nothing of a horror perspective will be played in this temple or in my house. Man, we tried to play the Dracula thing. The TV straight showed up like it was broke or something. So I'm asking Mally, I'm like, oh, why they show it like this? They like, nigga, I thought your TV was broke. Most High was like, nah, he distorted the picture just for that when he be played in my house. Because I took that stand the day before. I took my stands in a court. I faced that judge, which is the honorable Yahweh. I faced that judge and I let him know, look, I'm done playing around with sin. I'm done messing with it, entertaining it, all of that. And he granted me access to his throne. He like, all right, keep your word. You know what I'm saying? Go a probation period. Keep your word, though. The moment you go back is the moment I hit your top. So it's good that we getting into petitioning the heavens and learning the legalese of the heavenly courts, because then you know where you stand there with Satan. And we're going to come to find out he don't have no jurisdiction over us, man. None. So meaning if you allowing him to attack you, or you allowing him to inhabit your body, like I said, allowing him, then that's on you. At that point, sin is on you. All right, let's get through it.
Ephesians 4:20. But ye have not so learned Christ.
Come on.
If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him.
Have been what?
Taught by him.
Look, a lot of people ain't been taught by Mashiach Yahuah. A lot of people have taught themselves. And we know that the Holy Spirit is the one who brings all things in what? To remembrance by way of Yahushua Mashiach. When he teaches you, you know how to get rid of devils. You know how to withstand the temptation of the devil. You know if it's a test from Yahweh, it's a test from the devil. A lot of people be getting tested by Yahweh and thinking they being tempted by Satan. The whole time it be the Father testing you. We be giving Satan too much coverage, too much power. Sometimes it be Yahweh just whooping your butt because you've been doing stuff you ain't supposed to been doing. But once you learn the legalese, you know how to separate the two. Come on.
Read verse 21 again. If so be that ye have heard of him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahushua.
Come on.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation.
Ooh, see that? Because look, these former conversations is how you grant legal access to your body. You supposed to be new and improved in the truth. You supposed to be a new creature, but you holding on to former things. You holding on to former things. Give me my paper, boy. That's where my scriptures at. But you holding on to former things. Come on.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
Come on.
Which is corrupt.
Which is what?
Corrupt.
Which is corrupt. Come on.
According to the deceitful lust.
According to what?
Deceitful lust.
Deceitful lust. This is your main entry and gateway that gives Hashatan and these demons legal rights to possess or come in and inhabit your body through your lust. Most of the time you lusting through the eyes. You see something that you want that you ain't supposed to have. You see something somebody else got that you want. Most of the time it's through the ears. You hearing it and you're listening to vain conversations, or you entertaining somebody talking about somebody else's household. Most of the time it's through the mouth. You're a glutton. You can't stop eating. You constantly have to put things in your mouth, whether it be a cigarette, whether it be a blunt, whether it be alcohol, whether it be spirits. You see that? Sometimes it's touch and feel. You have to have your hands on something. You like to steal. It just has to be yours. We use these senses to our minds as gateways and doors, and that's how Satan attacks. That's how he get in. But you have to give him legal access to come in your property, just like the police. You bet not knock on my door without a warrant. Huh? But we just be letting Satan in. Come on.
So you saying accessing your old self brings brings a doorway opening to those things to come back.
Exactly.
Because you're still entertaining those
You're still entertaining those corruptible things. Exactly.
So you didn't free yourself from
No, you didn't.
Nope. I remember when I used to be the best jump shot shooter, girl getter, all that.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's get it.
23. And be renewed. There you go right now. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Come on.
And that ye put on the new man, which after Yahuah is great, created in righteousness and true holiness.
Come on.
Wherefore, putting away lying,
come on,
which sits at the right hand of Satan, speaking every man truth with his neighbor.
Come on.
For we are members one of another.
Come on.
Be ye angry and sin not.
Now he said, look, be ye angry and sin not. Come on.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
So look, he's showing you how to keep Satan out. Okay, it's cool to be angry, but you have to be angry with a time limit. Guess what the time limit was? Don't let the sun go down while you angry. You see that? So if you just slow down and you really start reading the scriptures, he's giving you the legal grounds to stand up and fight against Hashatan. So you can be angry. Of course, something gonna piss you off. You have energy, emotions, or what we call emotions. Some things ain't gonna sit right with your spirit. But it says, you bet not sin while you angry, and you bet not let the sun go down on your wrath. That's a time limit. Meaning what? If you get up angry, say if you wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock a.m. the sunrise and you get mad at somebody, okay? You literally have 12 hours to get that together. Because that sun bet not go down. So we even got a time limit on how mad we can be at each other and for how mad. He straight gave us a time limit. Be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. If a lot of us even abide and really listen to this, it wouldn't be no arguments. It wouldn't be no grudges being held or none of that. Shabbat shalom, brother. Now let's get it.
Neither give.
Hold on. Read this slow for everybody. Call this out too. Ephesians 4:27. It says, neither do what?
Give place to the devil.
So, neither give place to the devil. My whole question in this teaching is, what do give place mean? Let's look it up. Neither give place to the devil.
And understand, when you apply this, actually, this is psychology. This is how you should be handling your affairs, period. Because if you sit here and just think about it, when you entertain anger, you actually give whatever pissed you off control over who you got. Well, you can't even operate your day because that's on your mind. Man,
look, you got a 12-hour window to get it together. Ain't that what it said, bro? You better let it go. It says, do not let the sun go down on your wrath. Be angry. You can be mad and sin not. But hey, you got a time limit to be mad. You bet not let that twilight bet not hitting you still mad, because now you carrying wrath into the next day. That becomes sin. Because now you're holding a what? Grudge. And holding grudge and not forgiving is a way to let demons in. And it's impossible to have any type of spiritual deliverance without forgiveness. That's the second step, ain't it, Malik? When we go through, that's the second step. First, you have to acknowledge your sin. Then the second thing, what we do in our deliverance, hey, it's time to, who did you wrong? Who did you wrong? Write them all down, or even have them in your head if you're embarrassed to write them down. You need to forgive all of them before we go to the next step of this deliverance. If you ain't ready to do that, then you need to go and leave then, because we wasting our time here. Because you cannot be spiritually healed 100% with having grudges and unforgiveness on your heart. Period. Period.
Flat out.
Straight up. All right. So look, when it says do not give place to Satan, right? Do not give place to the devil. This word place is G5
Strong's G5117. Tapas.
Let's look up what it say. It's deep, boy. Look, check this out when you look it up. What this deal say? It says place, any portion or space marked off, as it were for surrounding space. And in what? Inhabitable place. So when it says do not give place to Satan, it's telling you do not give a place of inhabitation in your mindset for him. What that say? What it say, bro?
A place, passage in a book.
Read A again real quick.
An inhabited place as a city, a village, or district.
Isn't the mind like a strong city, a strong tower? Huh? But if it's divided, it's no good. And if you are very angry and you hot-headed, it said it's like a wall of a city that has been torn down. You see that? And now, if an army was on its way to your city and you done left the gates open, ain't you gonna be besieged?
You will be besieged.
You see that?
You'll be tried down.
That's how. Look, so showing you anger is a way of letting Satan in. Anger gives Satan the legal right to come inhabit your mind.
Your temple.
Ooh wee. Let's read A again.
A again. An inhabited place as a city, village, district.
Ooh, come on.
A place, passage in a book.
Come on.
A condition or station held by one in any company or assembly.
Come on.
Opportunity.
What?
Opportunity.
Don't give Hashatan opportunity. Come on.
Power.
Oh, don't give Hashatan what? Power. Come on.
Occasion of acting.
Do not give him no occasion to act on your behalf. How you giving Satan the occasion to act on your behalf?
That's how deep that one sentence.
Boy, now look, check this out. Let's read the Strong's definition. It gets deeper. Come on.
Strong's definition. Apparently a primary word, a spot.
Do not give Satan a spot inside you to dwell. Come on.
What did Christ say? I'm coming back for a church without what?
Spot or wrinkle.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow. General in space, but limited by what? Occupancy.
See that? You straight giving him an occupancy permit to dwell inside of your members, to dwell inside of your mind. That's deep, man. And notice he spun this just off of anger. He spun this. This is what anger do. Look, Let's get into unforgiveness. Let's get into sexual immoralities. Let's get in. Look, once it gets deeper and deeper, and these demons or these fallen angels have stronger and stronger spiritual strongholds on you. You know what I'm saying? Especially homosexuality. That's one of the strongest ones. When you start really getting into these deliverances and digging deep, man, that homosexuality one is a straight beast, boy. Straight up. For real. But all things was created by him and for him, and all things under his feet. And we're going to read the scripture, Isaiah 45, that tells you that Yahweh created evil. So if Yahweh created evil and he gave his only begotten son all authority in the heavens and the earth, the principalities, that man, you and Christ is in you, and he give you that power, that means it is nothing to get these demons off you. But you got to be serious, and you have to know your legal stance with Satan. You have to know your legal stance. Yeah? It's time for us to be the lawyer up. Yeah, we got everybody going to school 9 years to fight in the courtrooms. We need to be practicing on our legalese right now for the kingdom of Yahweh.
Some of y'all got rose and bloom on speed.
Straight up. Straight up. All right, come on. That's funny, boy. Hey, I sure had Rose and Bloom on my case, boy. He got me down to 3 years.
Got me one.
I was facing 45, boy. That's straight a Jewish boy, ain't it? That's a Jewish boy. Come on, let's get it. Hey, that's deep. That's deep. Hey, got to look. Got physical lawyers on speed dial, but don't know the number to Christ Yahuah, boy. That is deep, man. That's deep. Come on.
Whereas is a large but participable locality.
Come on. Location. Do not give Hashatan the location of your unlocked door.
No GPS.
No GPS.
Get out of my head.
Give him the roadmap to where you at. You see that? You see that? But we got conspiracy Negroes. They turn soon they get their new phone. Let me turn this location button off. But you in your mind giving Hashatan the locations inside your mindset. Cut it off. Come on.
A position.
Ooh, a what?
As a position.
Come on.
Home.
A home. Do not give Satan a home. Ooh, come on.
Track.
Come on.
Etc. Figuratively, condition.
Come on.
Opportunity.
Ooh.
Especially. A scabbard. Coast. License.
Like what?
License.
You giving Hashatan the license to kill your black butt. That's deep. Because remember, he only come to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. What he steal? Your inheritance, your joy, your happiness. What he kill? He kill your flesh. You die, literally, you die from this fleshly world. Then he destroy your soul. Y'all see that? But the only way this can happen if you allow him in. We're going to talk about how you allow in. That's what we're going to really get into. Come on.
Place. X plane.
Ooh, come on.
Quarter. Plus rock.
Look, I want y'all to focus on that word rock. Because it gets deeper. Let's focus on this word rock. Come on.
Room. Where?
All right, let's go back. Let's go back to it. We're in Ephesians 4:27. Ephesians 4:27. We're gonna read 27 one more time, and then we're gonna move on. Ephesians 4. If y'all get some understanding and understanding of what's happening so far in the crowd, say amen.
Amen.
All right, online, type in some nines. All right, read 27 one more time, brother. Matter of fact, start from 26 one more time. My bad. I like to beat it in our family heads. That way they get it.
Well, you abuser this shit.
Come on, let's get it.
Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Come on, read that slow. This next one, read it slow and loud.
Neither.
Boy, that's a dagger, boy. Now look, let's read it to 28, because he's gonna tell you how not to give place. Look, he finna tell you how not to give him legal grounds to bind you. Up the opportunities and close the windows and doors. Come on.
But rather, let him labor, working with his hands, the things which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth.
All right, come on, what else?
Let no corrupt communication.
Because that's another way to allow Satan to come in. Corrupt communication. And when you start really getting into what Yahweh is talking about with corrupt communication, he's talking about swearing words used to entice sexual pleasing. Everything is a nasty sexual joke. That's that corrupt communication he's talking about when you actually read it in the context that he's talking about. Come on.
Let no corrupt corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. But that which is good to using of edifying.
Ooh, come on.
That it may minister grace unto the hearer.
Let's read 30 and we're going to keep it pushing. No, we're going to keep going because I see 31 is a dagger too. Come on.
And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Yahuah. Whereby ye are sealed.
Yeah, what?
Sealed.
See that? We got to be filled and sealed with the Ruach HaKodesh. Come on.
Until the day of redemption.
Come on.
Let all bitterness.
There go another doorway. There go another one of them legalese terms that give him legal rights to inhabit your mindset. Bitterness. We got corrupt communication. We got stealing. We got bitterness. Come on.
And wrath.
There go another one, wrath. Want to have visions. Visions is of Yahweh. He is the man of war. He fights your battles. And what are you seeking vengeance on your brother in the first place for anyway? You ain't even supposed to be mad at him for over 12 hours. According to scripture. Come on.
And anger.
There it go again. Come on.
And glamour.
Come on.
And
clamor.
Clamor. And evil speaking.
Ooh.
Be put away from you with all malice.
So if we can handle this malice part, because all these things are part of malice. If we get rid of malice, you done close so many doors and lock so many windows to hide your time. You see that? You was tight. You got pulled over. You had your license. You ain't have no weapons that you ain't supposed to have in the car. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have no legal rights to search you. None of that. When you moving and operating in this spirit. Come on.
Hey, that evil speaking is slander.
Yeah, slander. Evil speaking, slander. So corrupt communication, evil speaking. Come on.
And be ye kind one to another. Tender-hearted. Forgiving one another.
What?
Forgiving one another. Even as God or Elohim, for Hamashiach's sake, has forgiven you.
All right, let's get to it. Matthew 12, family. Yep, book of Matthew, chapter 12. It's finna get deeper, and then we're going to get into this court system. We're going to talk about the judge, the lawyer, the prosecutor, the witness, the stand. I mean, the plea convictions, the court meetings, the law, the everything. Remember when you did this lesson a few years ago? I be going in the archives and put this added to the lessons, boy. We got lessons. We got lessons to last us forever, literally. Straight up. All right, so we're gonna start this at the book of Matthew, chapter 12. Let's start this deal at 40. 40, y'all. Type in y'all nines when y'all get there, family. When y'all get there, say amen. Praise. Matter of fact, start this deal at 41, bro. We can get straight to the point. All right, let's get it, family. They there. Let's get it.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 41. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas is here.
Come on.
The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here.
Now check this out. So it's talking about judgment, and it's talking about repentance. So now we finna talk about a repentant man, and when he repent, how a demon that had legal rights to be inside his house leave. But he entertained that spirit again, and 7 more demons go hold. Look, let's read this, and we're gonna break this down and take it real slow. We in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 43. Let's get it.
Verse 43. When the unclean spirit is going out of a man.
All right, so let's break this down bar from bar. An unclean spirit is a demon. Diblios. All right? Dubious. Diabolical. All these is talking about Damien. All these are talking about demons. So when a demon is going out of a man, now if it's going out of a man, that means it was inside of his mindset in his temple, right? It was in his body. All right, come on.
He walketh.
Oh, he walketh. So these spirits got legs? Yes. They're nothing but persons without bodies. It's still a entity, a personality. It's just a demonic entity, a demonic personality. And these personalities come from the giants. Okay? Come on.
He walketh through dry places.
He walketh through dry places. Now, do anybody know what these dry places is and what it represents? It says when a demonic spirit, an unclean spirit, is going out of a man, going out of his mind, going out of his temple, because he have repented. Whenever you will repent and you come before the mercy seat, you acknowledge your sin and you forgive, the demon leave. It says the demon, he, calling the demon a he, walketh through dry places, come on.
Seeking rest.
Seeking rest, come on.
And
findeth none. Now look, we're going to stay on this, but I just want to go and show y'all what the dry places is. Let's go to Psalms, the book of Psalms. Chapter 68, verse 6, 5 and 6. Let's see what these dry places is, y'all. The book of Psalms, chapter 68. And we're going to go back. Chapter 68, we're going to read 5 and 6. All right, let's get it, brother. Look, I looked that up too, but it's a different word when you look up the valley of dry bones. But look, I was on that last night too. Hey, I sure looked it up, but it's a different one. All right, come on with it.
You said 68?
Yep. Psalm 68, 5 and 6.
Psalm 68, verse 5. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widow is God in his holy habitation.
Now check this out. Come on.
God seeth the solitary in the family. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains.
So look, the whole purpose of Yahweh and his only begotten son through the Ruach HaKodesh is to set the captives free. What is he setting you free from? Bounds and chains and yokes of who? Satan. He's taking away Satan's legal rights. But look, let me show you where the wicked and the rebellious dwell, though. Where do they dwell?
But the
boy, this is a dagger, boy. Here you go. So now we know that dry places that the demon go and walk through because he's looking for rest. Because he only can dwell in the rebellious. Ain't this a dagger? We got more though. Watch. Come on, let's read that again.
Rebellious.
Started from 6 again.
God seeth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains.
Ooh.
But the rebellious dwell in a dry land.
So now we know where the rebellious dwell at, in dry places. It says when an unclean spirit go forth from a man, first he walketh around in dry places, seeking rest. But when he find none, and let's go read the rest. Hold on, let's do one more. Let's do Psalms 105, 41. Psalms 105 and 41. Psalms 105 and 41. There's daggers after daggers up in this deal, I'm telling you. Remember I said, pay attention to that rock, right? Let's see what Psalms 105 and 41 say about dry places. And when you have Christ in you, what happened to these dry places? Because Christ is the living, bro, you're already on it. Look, don't be trying to sus. Don't be up here trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Giving up the
lesson or whatever. All right, let's read it. Psalms 105, 41.
Psalms 105, verse 41. He opened the rock.
He what?
He opened the rock.
Remember when Moses struck the rock and water split and came from it? And remember, if we go according to Corinthians, where we're going to go next, 10 and 4, it says that Christ was that rock that followed us through the wilderness. So all this represents Christ, and Christ give you living water, and Christ give you living bread. All right, so come on.
He opened the rock, and the waters gushed out. They ran in the dry places.
So they ran and washed away your rebellious nature. Come on.
Like a river.
Like a river. Y'all see how the Bible just correlate? I love it. Just coordinate. What's that called, man? Boomerang or something? Coordinate. All right, verse 42. Verse 42. I got it. For he remembered his holy promise and Abraham his servant. Let's do 1 Corinthians 10 and 4, and then we're going to get back to it. It's all good, King. 1 Corinthians 10 and 4, and then we're going to go back to that Matthew. Matter of fact, do 10, 1 through 4, brother. 1 Corinthians 10, 1 through 4. Say amen when y'all get there. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10, we're going to read 1 through 4, sis. Y'all get some understanding? All praise. Hallelujah. All right, let's get it.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant of that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea.
Come on.
And were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
Come on.
And did all eat the same spiritual meat.
Ooh, come on.
and did all drink the same spiritual drink.
That same spiritual drink, come on.
For they drank of the spiritual rock.
They drank of that spiritual rock, just like how we supposed to be drinking of that spiritual rock to make our dry places flow like a river of water.
That followed them.
That followed them. Because remember, unclean spirit, he walk around seeking rest in dry places. We established that these dry places are places where the rebellious dwell. Come on.
And that rock was Christ.
And that rock was Christ. All right, so now let's go back to Matthew. Y'all piecing it together with me?
Let me hit verse 5.
Hit that verse 5 real quick.
Verse 5 real quick. It says, but with many of them God was not well pleased, but for they were overthrown in the wilderness.
All right, come on. Matthew 12. Y'all follow me. Let's get it. Now this finna make so much sense to y'all when y'all read it. It's gonna make so much sense. I mean, the word's gonna literally jump off the paper.
Wait a minute now.
Straight up. Straight up. All right, Matthew 12. We're gonna start this deal at 43, family. All right, let's get it, Uriel.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 43.
Read it slow and loud for him, brother.
When the unclean spirit is going out of a man.
All right, so what is an unclean spirit? A demon. All right, it's leaving out of him. Only way a spirit leave if it don't have a place to dwell no more, because it only can rest in dry places. All right, dry places represents what? Rebellion. Rebellion meaning that you are literally breaking commandments of Yahweh. All right, come on.
You walking through dry places, seeking rest, and finding none.
Now check this out.
Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
You see that? So he done walked around. So if he gonna return to his house, now look, this is how arrogant Hashatan is. He literally calls your body and your temple his house. Ain't that mad disrespectful? That's mad disrespectful, man. It says, then he saith. This is not talking about the man. This is talking about the unclean spirit. Then the unclean spirit saith, I will return to my house. Boy, ain't that disrespectful in the mug, man?
My dwelling place.
My dwelling place. That is disrespectful in the mug, man. Come on. Yeah. Good, yeah, but what you say, sis? Because you invited him in the first place.
So that's the knock on the door.
That's the knock on the door. See, look, y'all getting it. Because we ending it with that scripture. Because that's that whole knock and that invitation. Come on.
Verse 44 again. Then he said, I will return to
hey,
my house.
Hold on. Joanne, a gift from Elohim say, not here, nigga. I feel you, sis. I feel you, sis, straight up. That's funny, boy. She like, no, not her. All right, come on.
From whence I came out.
Start it over one more time, brother.
Verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he found it empty.
So he found it empty. So he went back to the house. When he came back to the house, he found the house empty again. Because remember, first, dry places and emptiness is the same thing. He left out because the living waters that came in, the repentance came in. He went back to his house and he found it empty again. He like, oh, okay, so it's back dry. Rebellion is back in the ranks. And then he said he found it swept and garnished. It was ready for him. Right? Come on.
Verse 45. Then goeth he and take it with himself 7 other spirits.
You see that? So this is what you get when you play around with Yahweh. First he had a repentant spirit, and the spirit left. The spirit went around to try to jump on more rebellious, and it couldn't find no rest there. So then it said, I'm going to go back to the place that I just left from. And he went back, and he seen, oh, you empty again? You back a dry place? He like, look, let me go get the rest of my homeboys. And it show you how demonic entities move. They gangbang and they move as units, y'all. That's why look, in order to commit adultery, which is sexual immorality, right? You have to be a liar. You have to be sneaking and hiding things. So when you break one commandment, you literally breaking them all. So look, one demon come with all the other demons anyway. Do you understand how much evil and plotting you have to do premeditated murder? That is setting, that's willful sin, that's planning, that's lying. You done went through 6 different demons just to hit the murdering demon. Ain't that deep? So look, demons, they move and operate in gangs, y'all. They move as one. And everybody think that the kingdom of Satan is here on earth. And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. It's in the heavens as we speak. And we're going to read it. The kingdom of Satan is still in heavens. Why y'all think he have to destroy heavens and create a new heavens and a new earth? And it says, therefore, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, darkness, rulers in what? High places. You look at that word high places, guess what it say? The heavens. Ooh-wee. People don't want to talk about that. Satan and his kingdom is highly organized, and they know they legalese, and they waiting on you to not know them, and they gonna misuse you and abuse you and have their way with you until your soul is destroyed. Straight up. All right, let's get it, brother.
Verse 45 again. Then void he and take with himself 7 of the spirits more wicked.
More what?
Wicked than himself.
You see that? So say if you was just, entertaining pornography and masturbation. Now 7 more spirits, you've been watching all that pornography, that man on woman looking at another man. Now you entertaining homosexual thoughts. You see how the steps go? It steps to this. He gonna take 7 more stronger than the first one. You love weed. Weed don't do it no more. Let me try some meth. Oh man, let me try to hit the crack pipe. Notice most people that's on crack started off in them. First it was cigarettes, then it went to weed, then it went to, man, let me try a mushroom. Let me get a shroom in. Then it went to LSD, now they blowing full-blown meth. Now they on a crack pipe. 7 more, stronger than itself. You see that? Notice alcoholics didn't start off alcoholics. They gradually moved up to that position. Chain smokers. You went from 2 squares a day, now you smoking 2 packs a day. These are these lustful, addictive behaviors that I'm talking about. And that's what happens with Hashatan. He see you open one doorway, he gonna be like, look, all y'all go now. Because look, rush the door. Bum rush that deal. You see that? Come on.
And they entered in and dwell there.
Ooh, and they what?
Entered in and dwell there.
And they entered in and dwelled there. Remember when we read in Ephesians 4, it says, neither give dwelling place to the devil. See that? So now we got them entering into the house. Remember, he called it my home. I'm going to go back to my crib. Boy, that's crazy. Boy, come on.
And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
Come on.
Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
You see that? And we in that generation now. Y'all realize we have a lot of deliverances to do. Like, that should be our only goal here, is literally casting devils off each other. For real. That's how demonically messed up we is. Through generational curses, through curses that went back as early as the garden, through grudges, through demonic sexual demons that we really call STDs, sexual demons, for real. Through things that your mothers and fathers did to us when we was little, being touched on by people. I mean, all of these things open up doorways for Hashatan and his fallen angels and these offset spirits of these giants to come and rest in you. We have to let all that go. If you ain't teaching deliverance and setting the captives free, then you in the wrong game here. That's all we need. That's the only thing we supposed to be teaching and preaching in this hour, because all of that is literally the kingdom to come. That is the good word. Y'all realize that, right? So if we ain't learning our legalese in the kingdom of Yahweh, then what are we doing? Wasting a whole lot of time. All right, look.
Agreeing and making contracts.
Exactly.
That's what you're doing.
Exactly.
Contracts with. When you agree or consent to sinning.
Yeah.
When you agree and consent to sinning, he got legal terms in the court in heaven to go right to the Most High and say, here the evidence is, I got right to go ahead and get it in. The Most High can't go against him.
He can't.
You know what I mean? So then the Most High moves against you on behalf of Satan because you around here playing around.
I'm glad you said that, bro. We finna read. We're going to get into that next. That's going to be our next part. Let's read how Yahweh created evil. Then we're going to get into what Maccabee talking about. Let's go to Isaiah 45, 6, and 7. Isaiah 45, 6, and 7. Then we're going to go into what Mally was just speaking on.
Yeah, you don't want to give them no legal grounds because it's a courtroom up there.
Yeah.
Dealing with judges, lawyers, all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to give him legal grounds to get that shit.
Right. Yeah. Y'all know, y'all heard about the chambers in the heavens, right? Then y'all hear about the chambers behind in the courtroom? Recess. Meet me in my chambers. Do you know that's what go on in the heavenly courts? And look, Hashatan is straight in the chambers talking to Yahweh on how to accuse you. And if it's any evidence against you, any evidence, he gonna be like, okay, there go your search warrant. I allow you into his home. I will allow you into his home. They go to search warrants, search and seize. Boy, look, y'all bet. Hey, look. Hey, it's all in the scripture, though. That's how deep this is. It's been here for thousands of years. We just be reading too fast. It's time for us to start slowing down and really digesting what we've been reading. All right, so look, we in Isaiah chapter 45, do 6 and 7, bro.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and there is none else.
Come on.
I form the light and create dark.
Come on.
I make peace.
I make peace and what?
Create evil.
And create evil. This just changed your whole perspective, right? The devil just after me. No, you let him in, and Yahweh created evil. He created vessels to serve. And some vessels just don't serve. Period. They all use. Look, do you realize he have a purpose for everything he created? For everything he created. Mally read this parable all the time about the talents and how one sat on a napkin and he sat on it and he never used it. And Christ told them to kill him, toe tag and bag him, and deliver him to who? The tormentors. Who was the tormentors? Them are demons. Y'all realize that, right? Huh? Y'all know how many people tormented? Go to your psychiatric wards. Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. All these are tormenting spirits because something happened where they allowed a gateway in. And look, a lot of times it straight be ancestral, generational curses too. That's why we have to verbally break those contracts while we deliver it. Am I lying, Mally? A lot of that. People, you have to be talking to the person before you. They feel like, I ain't been doing nothing. I've been praying. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I lived a good life. I ain't been in no sin. And then you start asking them, well, who is your father? Who is your? And you start hearing the stuff they did. Oh, that's where it came from. This Negro was a full wizard. Your great grandpa was a full wizard. Straight up, this nigga was a warlock. That's where it came from. A practicing witch. Oh, that's where it came from. Straight up.
The day they killed Messiah, they put these curses on our children.
These curses on our children. Our children. Ain't that what they said?
Our children.
See that? So you have to break generational curses. You have to break soul ties. You have to break, whether it's willfully or unwillfully, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, any form of participation with any occult doctrine. Mally, you rattle them off. Come on, rattle some off, brother.
Occultism, gang banging, fraternities, sororities, Masonic lodges, Eastern Stars, any type of fake false brotherhood oath, anything.
You see that?
Anything you verbally made a contract with and went through any type of initiation ritual. Any type of initiation ritual, anything you can say and take an oath with your mouth, you gotta break it.
Boy, police, lawyers, all them straight take oaths, y'all. With nursing. Boy, yeah. Look, once you do that and you make we only covenant makers with Yahweh. The moment you make any other verbal contracts, you have gave Hashatan in the kingdom of darkness legal rights to search and seize your body. Yeah.
I just want to ask you said
when you graduate from nursing school,
to get your
stand up and take an oath.
Oh, dang.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I was going to school to get my RN. I ain't know that.
Yeah, most definitely RN, yo.
Doctors do too.
Doctors.
It's called the Hippocratic Oath.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I just like with the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff like that. I don't.
Right.
I'll stand there. I earned my degree.
You say you just don't make no verbal contract.
I don't say nothing.
Yeah, just don't make no verbal contract, brother. Most definitely. He's like, hold on, man. Ain't no nursing for me no more, brother. What you saying, sir? Yeah, all praises, see? And see, that's your own legalese, though. We have to learn the legalese, because you think you there doing something physical, and you straight making a spiritual covenant with another God.
Right, not even know.
And then most of the time, these gods be worshiping like different planets. Like I know police, when they give their oath, they straight praising the God and giving all their rights to the gods Jupiter and Saturn. You know what I'm saying? You all. sun worship, y'all. All of it. Going back to the Roman Catholics and all of that, man. It's deep stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's crazy.
Everything is contracts, blood.
Yeah.
Everything.
We in Isaiah 45 verse 7, y'all. Yeah, read it again. Read it slow and loud for him, brother.
Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7. I form the light and create darkness.
Oof.
I make peace and create evil.
And what?
Create evil.
And create evil. Come on.
I, the Lord, do all these things.
Now look, the beautiful things that he formed and created all these things. Let's go to Genesis 1 and 28. Genesis 1 and 28. Because when you come into a Mashiach Yahushua, you literally have power over Yahweh's hands. Meaning, Yahweh's right hand is Christ. If you are in Christ and Christ is in you, you become that hand too. Meaning you have power over the creation as well. So if he created evil, you have power over evil then. Look, let's just read it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1. Read 26 to 28, my brother. Okay. Y'all got any questions as far as what we've been teaching so far? Anybody? We y'all good? We y'all got some understanding and overstanding? Okay, cool. Perfect. All right, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Can I get some hallelujahs when y'all get there? Give me some nines online. Give me some nines online. Let's get it. All right, let's get it, brother.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, for our likeness. And let them have
let them have what?
Dominion.
So we have dominion over creation. Y'all peep that? Because who created the fish? Who created the seas? Who created the fowl of the air? Who created the cattle? Who created all the earth? Who created the waters? Who created the heavens? So we see we actually have power over the hand of, well, I ain't gonna say over. We don't never have power over Christ. Let me watch my words carefully there. We have power with. We are giving power and authority over creation when we be one in a Mashiach Yahushua and being covered under the blood. Because in heaven and in earth.
Pause, my brothers and sisters. You have a power on a lot of things. Families, man, we will end this part of the session, families. Families, may the Most High always hold you, guide you, keep you, protect you in everything you do. Families, we're going to end it out with a prayer. Then session to the heavens. And then, families, man, we're going to be doing a part 2 of this. Yasharahla. I love you, family. Let's go.
I ain't on earth.
Yeah.
It's a feast day, y'all.
Let's pray on out.
My brother. Oh, my wife.
What's up? Cover them hands up, little sheep bros.
Let's get her done.
You uncover your hands, yo.
Yeah, uncover your head.
I'll send it to you. I got it right up. Nehemiah ain't sent it to you?
You never seen me on no number, man.
No.
Okay, yeah. Get his number. He'll send it to you.
Get on this side. Sit. Noah. Hey, get on this side, boy.
Look at Seth. Hey, look at Seth. Look at his hand. Come on, Noah. You gotta speed it up now.
All right, it's all right there. Come on.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yabareka Yahweh Veish Merika Yahweh Pona Elika Vikuneka Yasa Yahweh Pana Elika Ve'asem Leka Shalom Ve'asem Leka Shalom Yabareka Yahweh Ve'ish Merika Ya Yahweh Pana Elika Bikuneka Yesa Yahweh Pana Elika Be'asem Laka Shalom Ve'asem Laka Shalom. Amen. Hallelujah.
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 Amen. The Most High shall bless you. He shall keep you. He will shine his face upon you. He will bless you and he will keep you and he will partake unto you peace. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Yahweh El Elyon, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, we bring before your throne all the sick in Israel, all that are plagued in body, mind, and spirit. And we ask you to rain down a healing that is complete, a healing that is understood, Heavenly Father. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to raise the dead, cast out devils, cleanse lepers, and heal every manner of sickness. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to tread on serpents, scorpions, leviathan, principalities, and all the rulers of darkness. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to give sight to the blind, speech to the dumb, hearing to the deaf, and strength to the lame. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war that at our very shadow and presence, the devils flee. And they are cast out right now. 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 Heavenly Father, Yahweh Tzibaoth, send forth your heavenly army and confound, put down, and destroy any and all opposition, seen and unseen, visible and invisible, physical and spiritual. And we thank you now. We plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah over this assembly. We plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah over our people online. We plead the blood of Yahushua Mashiach against every unclean spirit. We plead the blood of Yahushua Mashiach against every so-called illusion called a sickness. We bind it and we command it to come out now. We bind it and we command it to go into a herd of swine. We bind it and we command it to go into the bottomless pit. We bind it and we command it to go wherever your son gonna send it. But it has no authority over this assembly. No authority over your people. We plead the blood of Yahushua the Messiah. Satan, you bow at the name of Yahushua the Messiah. Satan, you tremble at the name of Yahushua Mashiach. We plead the blood of Yahushua Mashiach over this assembly, all our loved ones, and everyone attached to us. And we thank you right now for the
right now.
Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Not next week, but right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.